Welcome to Fox 29 Philadelphia, Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. I bring you breaking news, live news. If it's happening, we bring it to you. Today, we had a crazy, wacky day, and honestly, you guys, it's not over just yet. As you can see, we've got some video. It's new body cam video that's being released by the NYPD. It's New York's police department out in the city. They show this couple that they say climbed the Empire State Building. We'll get into what exactly was going on there because obviously this is an extremely difficult task and it was also very bizarre. A lot of people were unclear about what was going on there. This is the moment when police finally apprehended those two individuals. Again, we'll get into what exactly took place out in New York City a little later on in the show. You're also taking a look at some video. Team USA is set to take on Bosnia. We've got a match coming up tonight. And no matter where you are in the U.S., people are getting excited. We'll check in with a couple of our reporters. We'll also check in with our sports team. We want to talk to fans and see how they're feeling. And keep in mind, here in the city of Philadelphia especially, it is absolutely scorching. So normally you would get out to a match and go to FIFA Fan Fest, or maybe find another watch party that's happening on the streets. You'll find a big screen that's outside, but a lot of people are heading indoors. So we'll see if people are trying to beat the heat or if they're just, rolling with the punches. And then of course, you're also taking a live look at the city skyline of New York City. Again, it was just a crazy, crazy afternoon there for the police, for bystanders, because keep in mind, if anything would have fallen off of that building, even if it had been a coin in someone's pocket or the ring that apparently was used during a proposal that they say happened there, that could easily kill someone. So again, we'll get into all of the details, and of course we're touching base on things that are happening right here close to home in the Philadelphia, Delaware, and South Jersey area as well. Now, again, my name is Judea Murray. You guys are watching Philadelphia Live, and we got a lot of news to bring to you guys. We'll touch base on things that are happening here, things that are happening nationally, and every now and again, we're able to touch base on some international stories as well. We're going to talk to you about President Donald Trump's agenda for today, where he's been, what he's been talking about. We're also going to bring you the latest on 4th of July activities here in the city. We've got a lot planned. It's supposed to be great, but it's also supposed to be hot. So we'll see how everybody's faring. In the meantime, talking about the heat, talking about the city and our response, I want to get right out to Ellen, one of our reporters, who just took a look at how we're preparing for things. Ellen, what did you find?
Well, first, let me tell you, Judea, it has been a scorcher today, but it's not as bad right now. The wind is blowing around a little bit, so that's cooling things off. But city officials say they are ready for the heat over the next few days, especially here on the Parkway, where they are getting ready for the big Wawa Welcome 250 celebrations that will start on Saturday. So much excitement planned for that. But they are, just take a look. They are here. Everything is ready here on the stage. Well, pretty much ready. They are, the stage is set, but the city and the whole area, with it being under a heat health emergency, officials say they've been prepping for all risk that could happen. So they're adding cooling stations on the Parkway with water that you can fill up your bottles and your jugs because it's going to be hot. They will have extra people around to help if you're getting overheated. They'll have misting fans placed out and about and places with shade to sit and relax. They'll also have pop-up visitor centers all around Center City, all around the area where you can rest, grab some shade, some water, anything you need to get some relief from this extreme heat. Now, the city is also asking people, just please use some common sense and hydrate before you even come out to any of the events this weekend. Wear light-colored clothing, always use sunscreen. And the last thing you might want to feel like doing in this heat is eating, but they're reminding people that actually helps when it's so hot. So you're taking a look at all the tents that are set up. They are just ready with the porta potties, plenty of those. So when you're drinking so much, you're going to need those, right? Also, the city will have extra police officers around. So if you need help or you see someone who needs help with extreme heat exhaustion or, any kind of problems that they're profusely sweating, they'll be around, extra police officers, so you can always call 911. Of course, if it's a true emergency. So the goal, city officials said in a news conference today, is for everyone to have fun, but to be safe. Also, there are some changes to events planned over the next couple days. Tomorrow, Thursday, July 2nd, the red, white, and blue Dew Pomp and parade at the National Constitution Center. That'll have a shorter route because of the extreme heat. The All-American Block Party that was supposed to take part right after that is canceled. the U.S. Army Field Band and Soldiers Chorus with Queen Latifah. She is the queen. That start time has been pushed to 8 o'clock. And then on Friday, July 3rd, there's been a route change to the Salute to Independence Parade. Now, Judea, if anybody has specific questions about any event that they are planning to attend, you can always go to phila.gov, phila.gov. So we can't mention everything that's been changed, obviously, but with this extreme heat, just bottom line, know your body, stay hydrated, and know that the city has your back, and they have a lot of things planned to help you stay safe and have fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're absolutely right about there being just way too many events to name. I tried to go through some of them yesterday. Keep in mind, I said some of them, and I was getting tongue-tied just by how many are on the list and counting. You know, there could be changes as we see the temperatures go up. Ellen, I saw you.
I also want to mention. Sorry, I also want to mention you can also text the word America to 888-777. That's 888-777. You can text the word America, and that will also give you an updated list of anything that's going on or anything that's happening. So that's a good idea as well.
That was actually perfect. See, I was gonna fool around with you because I saw when you were panning around and you were talking about the porta potties. Those look like the nice ones. Those aren't the ones that you see at like the construction site or the festivals. Those are nice.
Right? There's some nice ones, and I have to tell you, I had to use one, and they're very clean right now. So this is the time to use them.
We'll see if that changes over the next couple of days.
I can't say the same on Saturday, but right now they're very nice. Yeah.
Especially when that rain starts coming down. Oh my goodness. It's going to be really fun. Yeah, and I just want to remind people that on Saturday we'll have full coverage all day long of things that are going on as it pertains to the 4th of July. Ellen, thank you so much again for giving us a look at what's happening out there. We've got viewers right now, you guys, joining us from a little bit of everywhere. Ellen, we'll talk to you a little later on. We've got people, I saw someone say that they're watching from South Carolina. They say it's supposed to reach 100 with a heat index of 109. Dang. Then we got Nady Cakes 123 who says it's so hot out and I'm in New York. Let me know right now, if you check your weather app or whatever local news station you have, what's the temperature right now where you are in New York? Because that is insane. The rest of you guys, I see so many of you pouring into our chat. Please tell me where you're watching from. Again, we have people from a little bit of everywhere, even though I'm based here in Philadelphia, and I'll talk to you about things that are happening around here, things that are happening around in other states and cities as well. I'm just interested in seeing, who's watching. On that note, let's turn things over to our meteorologist. Scott, you heard me shout out some of the places that our viewers are coming in from, and they say they're already experiencing 100 plus heat. When is that on the way for us?
Yeah, well, today we made it to 97 degrees. We're looking at triple-digit high temperatures for Thursday, for Friday, even for the 4th of July. And also shout out to South Carolina. You know I'm from South Carolina, so South Carolina, of course, watching. And we have company with this heat as well, because we're looking at this big heat dome. We've been talking about it, and of course, look at the map. It is expanding. We are talking about millions of folks under the influence of this heat dome and temperatures soaring over the next several days. But take a look at parts of the mid-Atlantic into the Northeast and New England. Record high temperatures are likely as this heat continues to build. Of course, earlier in the week, it was low 90s, mid to upper 90s today, then the triple digits for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So it's that cumulative effect, and of course, the building heat and humidity. Most of us are dry, but the storm track kind of up and over this area of high pressure. That's known as the Ring of Fire. There have been a few thunderstorms far north and west, moving through sections of Bucks County as well as into Northampton County. This is going to kind of rain itself out, of course. Lightning, some downpours with this. Not everyone is seeing it. This could prompt some flash flooding, so we'll wait and see if maybe there's a flash flood warning with that heavy rainfall in sections of Bucks County. 95 degrees. Take a live look, of course. Folks preparing for the 250th celebration along Independence Mall. And it is hazy out there. It is still 95 degrees, but feels like temperatures have been well into the triple digits. Take a look at the numbers north and west. It's 94 Doylestown, 94 in Allentown, 97 in Reading. Those temperatures are cooler down the shore. That's where you can beat the heat over the next several days with that sea breeze. But this jumps out. Look at these triple digit feels like temperatures for Philadelphia. It feels like 105. It feels like 106 in Reading. It feels like 105 in the Lehigh Valley, and those temperatures throughout Delaware feeling like the triple digits. So that's the danger. Now, through the weekend, we are looking at that extreme heat warning. It's actually been extended into Sunday for some locations, so just keep that in mind. Now, we talked about this earlier in the week. The average low this time of year is upper 60s. We'll be lucky if we make it to 80 degrees overnight tonight for Philadelphia, and those temperatures for the suburbs will stay in the mid to upper 70s out there. So here's the bottom line. Starting low 80s at 7, we're in the low 90s by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Those temperatures soar into the triple digits with hazy sunshine out there. And then each day as we move toward the 4th of July, an increase in the coverage as well as the threat for some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms popping up. And some of those could be severe by Friday, north and west, moving up that northeast extension toward the Lehigh Valley, the Poconos, interior parts of South Jersey. So keeping an eye on that in addition to the heat. Look at these temperatures. Record territory Thursday, Friday, 104 degrees, still triple digits for the 4th of July. The record for tomorrow, 103. The forecast, 104. Temperatures could tie the record on Friday, if not tie the all-time hottest for Philadelphia, which is 106 degrees. We talked about down the shore temperatures will be cooler, but it's still warm for Thursday, 87. Temperatures for Friday, 92 degrees, near 90 on Saturday. And that 7-day forecast does show relief Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Temperatures topping out around 80 degrees. So that is going to be really welcome and almost kind of a little chilly when you compare it to these triple digit temperatures over the next several days. But as we've been stressing before, use some common sense. Don't ignore your body. Stay hydrated. Drink lots of water and keep those electrolytes going. Eat small meals as well. Nothing real heavy, just something that your body can digest easily, dealing with this heat outdoors.
The electrolytes is a game changer. I think a lot of people sleep on them. So if you can find them in the powder form or some of the drinks that already have them in there, that can help you quite a bit. Scott, I heard you say you were from South Carolina. I don't think I realized that. I knew you had the South in you because we've talked about Georgia before. But what part of South Carolina?
It's a place called Rock Hill.
Rock Hill. Okay, all right.
Upstate, the upstate of South Carolina.
I'm from the upstate of New York, so I understand exactly. I just want to give a quick shout out to a couple of other places people are watching from, and then I've got a question for you, so don't go anywhere, Scott. We've got Fanboy from Richmond, Virginia, says he's watching. Stacy from Bensalem here in Pennsylvania says they're visiting Boston, and it's hot there right now, too.
Yeah.
And then, again, we've got another person watching from New York who says it is scorching. Okay, so back to my question. First comment, isn't it crazy to say that it's going to be chilly, but thinking about it, it's like a 20-degree difference between Sunday and Tuesday and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Temperatures, record territory, triple digits over the next several days. And I mean, it really is that cumulative effect. A lot of folks will be in town celebrating the 4th of July, but you've got to take it easy. Take breaks, stay in the shade. And just keep that water bottle handy. I know you probably have your water bottle handy, as you always do, without the label on it.
Wait, and that's why I can't show you right now. I forgot to take it off.
See?
But I
come on.
It is on deck. I am staying hydrated. There is no fainting on this show on my watch. Scott,
but they've postponed some things or adjusted the timing because, an hour can really make a difference in how it feels, and that sun angle, the sun sets typically around this time of year around 8:30. So once that sun sets, that can also make a big difference when you don't have to have that, that sun directly in your face.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah.
Fan Fest is one of those events that decided to ask people to come later on rather than being right underneath the sun when it's like at the highest point in the sky.
And thunderstorms, we talked a little bit about that. We do have thunderstorms in the forecast, kind of building each day as we watch this ridge start to break down. So storms will be coming in from the north. So for Friday, that rainfall chance 30 to 40%. And some of those storms could be strong to severe, damaging wind gusts. So we're going to be watching out for that Friday afternoon and evening. And then, of course, for the 4th of July, it's about a 50% chance to 60% chance. And that threat continues into Sunday. The best time is going to be toward the afternoon into the early evening time frame, of course, with the most instability, that daytime heating. But we can't rule out thunderstorms continuing into the evening time frame around fireworks time as well. But a lot of those storms that typically pop up during the heat of the day start to diminish once the sun sets. So we're going to be watching that over the next several days, and hopefully the coverage will diminish once we lose that daytime heating, and we can get some of these fireworks displays in and have a good time.
I sure hope so. That's my favorite part of the 4th of July.
Yeah.
I love seeing the fireworks, whether it's in person or virtually, which, by the way, you guys will be able to do that right here on Free Fox Local app. But Scott, just out of curiosity, I asked Kathy this yesterday. As we get closer and closer, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that those late night fireworks show can still go on?
You know, I think maybe a 6 out of 10. 6 out of
Okay.
10. Yeah.
I will take it. I will take it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll check back in with you tomorrow and see if anything has changed.
Okay.
All right. And we'll also see you later on in our live stream show. Just in case anybody is just now coming into the chat, maybe missed the forecast, don't worry. We'll get it for you again. Scott, thanks.
All right. See ya.
No problem. All right. Let's see if anybody else put out what they're watching. Okay, we've got Victor who says Africa is nice this time of year. I had no idea. But Victor also says that he doesn't have AC, so he's hoping that we can turn down the heat. And I feel you on that. Growing up, we actually talked about this in the meeting. Growing up, my mom did not believe in AC, central air, any of that. It was like we can put a fan in the room and open up a window, get some fresh air in here. But there was no such thing as air conditioning. So in these type of temperatures though, don't play around with that or play around with your life like that. Like the way heat exhaustion or heat stroke can really overtake you is crazy. So, you know, keep all that stuff in mind. If you can get to a cooling center, if you don't have AC, that'll probably be your best bet, or hang out with some family and some friends. This is the time to say, hey cousin, can I come over? Maybe have a nice little cookout or something, and everybody eats inside on the 4th of July. All right, so as Scott mentioned, we do have a heat health emergency here in Pennsylvania, especially in Philadelphia, and it's actually been extended until Sunday. Originally, it was supposed to be lifted late night on Saturday, July 4th. Delaware has also issued, because of the National Weather Service, they've also issued an extreme heat warning for the entire area. So all the residents who may be watching us from Delaware right now, keep that in mind, that that is something that's going on. It's expected to be lifted again on July 4th. They say the hottest weather is expected tomorrow and Friday, so stay safe. Also, New Jersey says they are definitely in on it too. New York City and New Jersey are also issuing an air quality alert for ground level ozone. That starts today. The entire region is under an extreme heat warning through Friday though. They say the temperatures there in New York City and New Jersey could feel like 110 degrees or even more than that. Keep in mind, Rescue Mission of Trenton says that they're open to anybody who may be in need of some cool air. It's open 24/7. All you've got to do is go out to Mercer County. Again, Trenton is where we're talking about. You can come in, have air conditioning, get some emergency shelter. They've also got a food pantry, a thrift store, and some staff there who are more than happy and more than welcome to welcome you on in. There are also changes to events. We'll go over some of them a little later on in the show. If you want more information on any of the stuff that I just mentioned, all you got to do is go to the Free Fox Local app or fox29.com. All right, you guys, keep talking to us. Let us know where you guys are watching us from. Oh, someone says, girl, okay, cool. Tell us about what we want to hear. Please let me know what you want to hear. Vanessa, tell me what stories you guys are looking for. I'm here for you. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I want to talk to you about this Penn State student who was killed walking home. District Attorney has announced some new charges. We'll get into it when we come back. Hey guys, welcome back to Philadelphia Live. Big news update for you all. The U.S. Marshals say that they're offering $5,000 as a reward for anyone who can get them information that may lead to the arrest of two 16-year-olds. We're talking about Kaisim Smith and Azubair Utin Fleming. Both of those two teenagers are wanted in connection to a shooting that took place on June 6th. Officials say that they shot and killed a Penn State student by the name of Billy Schmidt. He was walking home. According to officials, he was actually extremely close. So we're talking about maybe a block or a couple away. This is the video of that moment where the suspect turns around, opens fire, and shoots and kills Billy. So again, we're hearing that there are some new charges. The district attorney, Larry Krasner, announced them. I'll let you guys listen into what he had to say, but first I want to tell you that less than 24 hours after he announced those new charges, the U.S. Marshal Service offered the reward. And let's listen into what those charges are.
There's a big picture here. I cannot tell you the whole big picture, but I can tell you a good piece of it. And I will tell you as much of the big picture as is appropriate for me to tell you, consistent with this very active, ongoing investigation, which involves at least two fugitives. I'm going to do something we don't do very often. I am not a believer in putting up photographs of defendants gratuitously. There's a long and ugly history of how that has been done. When I do it because there is an active warrant for a fugitive. And showing the photograph may serve the important purpose of allowing those who know that person or don't know that person to bring that person safely into custody. We have done that before, as many of you know, with the sheriff on 3 or 4 different occasions when there was a group of defendants who were wanted on homicide warrants. We will be doing that today due to the fact that in this smaller picture, this smaller part of the big picture that I'm going to describe, there are 2 fugitives. There are 3 people I want to talk about. As I said, this is a smaller part of a bigger picture. And the 3 people I want to speak about are 2 fugitives and 1 person who is in custody. The 2 fugitives are a young man named Kaiseem Smith, K-A-I-S-E-E-M Smith. I'm using these names in part because they've already been reported. Kaiseem Smith is at this time 16 years old. He is connected to Delaware. He also has ties, or has had ties, to the area of 17th and Wharton Street at times. And it is believed that he is fugitive and on the run. There is at this time an active warrant for his arrest. The way an arrest warrant works is that it includes the expected charges in that case. The expected charges for Kaiseem Smith include murder, criminal conspiracy, robbery, 3 different kinds of illegal possession of a firearm, including 6110.1, which is a charge that applies if you're underage to possess a firearm, reckless endangerment of another person, and possession of an instrument of crime. The second person I'm going to speak about, and once again, there is an active warrant for his arrest in this case, and the charges that are presumed and are listed in connection with that warrant, I'm about to tell you. This young man's name, and he is also 16, is Azubair Uten Fleming. I will give you the spelling that I have, and it is consistent with what you see actually on the board there. Charges in this warrant for this 16-year-old who is fugitive at this time include murder, criminal conspiracy, robbery, 3 different forms of illegal possession of a firearm, including the one that applies if you are underage, 6110.1, reckless endangerment of another person, and possession of an instrument of crime. There is a third person I'm prepared to speak about today, and this person is in custody. We're not going to show his photograph. As I said, we show photographs for a very specific reason, which is to get people into custody. This man's already in custody. His name is Dante Abdul Malik. Dante Abdul Malik is 35 years old. He is the stepfather of Azubair Uten Fleming. He is under arrest for 2 reasons. One is the charges I'm about to convey to you, and the second is a detainer for violation of his supervision. In other words, he was under supervision, probation or parole, violated it, and there was already an effort to have him in custody. Mr. Dante Abdul Malik is charged with 3 charges. They are hindering apprehension, obstruction of justice, and tampering with evidence. As I mentioned earlier, there is a big picture here and there is a smaller picture here. I have just spoken to you about the smaller picture. I am not telling you these are the only people who may be involved. I am not telling you that this investigation is over or that we have all the answers yet. I will tell you that I feel that the Philadelphia Police Department and this office have been on it since this case happened, that they have been working very effectively with our law enforcement partners, that we have repeatedly stood down and not conveyed information that might in any way jeopardize the integrity of this investigation, and that collectively we have seen progress. There is a video that was prepared by the Philadelphia Police Department. It's about 3 minutes long. It does not include the robbery or the murder in this case, but it does include video of the 2 most active participants, the two we believe to be Kasim Smith and Azubir Auten Fleming. By active, I mean active on location at the time of the murder robbery itself. I'm going to show that video, which again does not include the murder, does not include the robbery, does not include any image of the victim. And you should know I spoke at length with the father of the victim yesterday. So he would know that this was coming, so that he would be aware that of progress in the case. I did so with ADA Anthony Voci, who's been very actively involved, also Sidney Pope from our office, very actively involved in this investigation to make sure that he was aware of what was going on. The reason I want to show this 3-minute video is that it may be of help to people in terms of being able to see how these two fugitives walk, what their build is, their approximate height and weight, how big or small they may appear when they're near each other, in the event that they might be near each other when they're spotted. So once again, we're doing this for a reason, and the reason is that Kasim Smith and Azubir Auten Fleming need to be safely in custody, and that is for everyone's safety, including their own. They need to be safely in custody. I'm not going to comment during this video. We will.
All right, so you guys, this video that he keeps referencing, I showed you before he began talking. You can also see the reward picture for a second there that shows what these guys look like. So again, they say they're looking for those two teenage suspects. If you guys want to learn any more information, want to learn more about this $20,000 reward from the police department and the $5,000 reward from the U.S. Marshals, we've got a full article available for you right now. Fox29.com or the free Fox Local app is where you need to go. Meanwhile, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I've got some big sports news, and I cannot wait to pick Breland Moore's brain about it. You probably heard about what's going on with the NBA. We'll get to it when we come back. Hey guys, welcome back to Philadelphia Live. You're taking a live look at this Xfinity Mobile Arena where the Sixers play. We've got some big news as the NBA free agency continues. I'm joined now with Breland Moore, and as part of the sports team, Breland, I want to let you break it for the people.
Yeah, so this is unbelievable. This actually broke, Judea, while we were doing the 6 o'clock stream. And it was so fresh that my teleprompter was actually updating as I was trying to read it, because that's how breaking this news was at 6 o'clock. But yeah, blockbuster trade here. So the Sixers are acquiring Jaylen Brown from the Celtics, 5-time NBA All-Star, 2024 NBA Finals MVP. He's coming to Philadelphia in exchange for Paul George and a slew of draft picks. So you have the 2 first rounds and 2 second round draft picks heading to Boston, as well as Paul George in exchange for Jaylen Brown. This is really the first major event of the Mike Gansey era beyond the draft, of course. And already he is appearing to cook with gas here. Just absolutely unbelievable trade that could really change the landscape of where we see the Sixers moving forward. Obviously, free agency, as you just mentioned, began and just today, so there's going to be some other things going on here, but really explosive start to the Mike Gansey era for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, so some of our viewers here were watching you guys on the 6.
Yeah.
They DM'd me like, are you going to talk about this? Please make sure you talk about this. And I just have to give a quick shout out to SportsFan935, who said, did you hear that Sixers are getting Jaylen Brown for Paul George? They told me this is definitely what we should be talking about, but says, I feel so happy for this trade and hope that it brings a championship to Philly. So, I mean, is this how big this news is, that could be in the cards for us?
Sure. On paper, absolutely. In practice, I can't get my hopes up about the Sixers team. This has been constant. Paul George, and when Paul George came here, everyone was ready to roll the trucks down Broad Street and roll the floats down Broad Street. They're a championship caliber team. And we saw the lackluster results that the Sixers team has been able to piece together over the past couple of years. So they are very much in prove-it mode. I will say, though, this is, like I said before, this is a really strong start to Mike Gansey's tenure as president of basketball operations, taking over for Daryl Morey honestly a couple of weeks ago. And it was a very fast turnaround for him, but he handled the draft. I thought he did pretty well there. And then, this, of course, like I said, really, really strong start. So we will see. And it also, makes me question who else could potentially be moved here. Is Joel Embiid a possible, on the trading block type of guy? We'll see down the line. But yeah, definitely, I think, took a lot of people by surprise, a lot of people off guard, but in a positive way for the Sixers team. Now, let's just hope the typical Sixers, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't want to call it a curse. I don't want to call it drama, but I feel like it's just one thing after another with this team, that something happens to them that they just can't get it done. So, like I said, we'll reserve judgment, but it's really positive. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, so we're feeling good right now.
I'm not gonna say anything about championships or nothing, because this team has done the impossible to lose that. So let's just keep it mild for now.
We're gonna walk before we crawl before we walk before we run.
Yeah, right. Like we gotta get on the treadmill and walk at a steady pace before we start talking about other things. Because this team, it's been quite an adventure covering them the past couple of years.
Y'all have to be really strong, I will say, to be Sixers fans.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because obviously when this came out, it kind of took over NBA headlines. It took over the free agency headlines. But was there anything else that came out today that maybe surprised you, or anything else you want to share?
In terms of free agency, not really in terms of the NBA free agency. Now, if we want to switch over, because the NHL is also pretty active as well. The Flyers made several moves there, and one of them was the much anticipated Dan Vladar contract. That was 5 years and $5.5 million annual estimated value. So that obviously was coming. We knew that was going to happen. However, they did also extend Tyson Foerster with an 8-year deal. 8 years seems to be quite a bit. Now, he is still pretty young, 24 years old. Annual, average value of $7.1 million. So it's a pretty hefty deal for Tyson Foerster. But that kind of took me a little bit off guard just how lengthy that thing was. But other than that, yeah, it's been a really busy day with constant moving around and whatnot. And of course, we'd be remiss in not mentioning Quentin Grimes heading to the Lakers, Kelly Oubre going to the Pacers. That in the wake of the Jaylen Brown situation, that has been completely overpassed by everything else that's going on. But yeah, free agency and the contract situations going on for both teams that play at Xfinity Mobile Arena has been really, really interesting today.
Absolutely. And NHL is also going through their free agency as well, right? Started today?
Yeah, as I just mentioned, Dan Vladar being extended, Tyson Foerster being extended. And they also picked up 2 other, minor moves, but definitely expect some more to go there with Danny Briere.
Okay, let's shift gears, move on over into the FIFA World Cup. Obviously, we had 2 really big matches earlier. We just found out the score from Belgium and Senegal. I believe Belgium won.
Yeah,
and this was a late game comeback.
Yeah, and that added extra time. I mean, we've seen these games just really push it already in just the round of 32. I don't know off the top of my head how many, but I mean, we've been watching them, and it's constant penalty kicks or that going into added extra time, overtime, whatever you want to call it or refer it to. Just really, really interesting knockout round so far. But yeah, Senegal did lose that one to Belgium. 3-2 is your final there. And then England also want to talk about a comeback game too. They were down against Congo, and Harry Kane said, "Not on my watch, I guess," and put the 3 lions on his back. He's one of the most prolific goal scorers in England's history. So if anyone can do it, I guess he can, and prove that he can. And so they are also advancing to the round of 16 as well after defeating Congo. But really, really interesting slate of matches that, of course, culminates in this U.S. men's national team game against Bosnia that is occurring on Fox 29 at 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, I know everybody's going to be excited to watch it. We're checking in with our reporters who are seeing where people are going to watch the game, how they're faring with the heat, because honestly, it's not keeping anybody from getting outside, which is kind of crazy to me. I don't like the sweat.
Yeah, I don't either, but this is, I mean, I understand why people are bought in, right? This is the most dominant men's national team we've seen in quite some time, the way that they just handed Paraguay, a complete L in really and truthfully the first half of their opening game, which is unbelievable when you look at Paraguay as a team. They beat Germany. I mean, that is no small joke there. And they're in the round of 16. They're going to be playing France right here at the artist formerly known as Lincoln Financial Field on Saturday. So, Paraguay is a really talented team, and for the United States to have dismantled them like that in such an easy fashion. And then, of course, what they've been able to just do in group play has been unbelievable. I think people are really, really excited. The United States has not won a knockout round game since 2002. They also have not beat a European team in that year. So it's 24 years of not beating a European team in the World Cup and also not winning a knockout round game. And they had the opportunity to do both tonight at 8 o'clock in Santa Clara. So it should be really, really interesting.
I cannot wait. We'll be giving you guys live updates on what's going on out there. Breland, thank you so much for joining us. This has been great. And again, you make me laugh, but also I learn a lot from listening to you talk about the different sports teams out here.
Awesome. It's fun hanging out with you.
No problem. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. I told our viewers that I would ask you. They're going crazy over your T-shirt. Can you show it?
On the outside I'm hooting, but on the inside I'm hollering.
They love it.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel about this heat, Like, I feel like I'm having a good time, but I'm really not having a good time. So that's me today. On the outside I'm hooting, but on the inside I'm hollering. Also, but I am hooting about the Phillies, by the way. We forgot to mention them. I believe they're running away with it thanks to Trey Turner's 3-run home run. So I think it was like 5-2 last time I checked. So
okay.
6-2. Just add another one. So 6-2. My point stands though. They're doing their thing in this heat down at Citizens Bank Park. So, but yeah,
on fire.
It's my little Kermit T-shirt.
Yeah, where did you get it? The people wanted me to ask you.
Instagram.
Instagram. You got to go to the Instagram shops, you guys.
Yeah. So,
I
don't remember the name of it, but you got it. You can find it.
Yeah. All you guys got to do Google. Breland, thanks.
You got it.
Oh yeah, she touched base on some stuff that I forgot all about. also, I wanted to give you guys a live lookout in Atlanta. So that's where that match took place between Belgium. Hold on. Thank you, England and Congo. I'm so sorry. They have been turned ever since. That was our first FIFA World Cup match of the day today. Again, they have been partying. They're in full force. I think what they're trying to do, you guys, is come for our record here in Philadelphia. You know, the mayor said that we had the largest presence at a FIFA Fan Fest when we all just started out our matches here in the North America region. So I think Atlanta's trying to come for it. I don't know if they can do it. We'll have to check what their numbers are, but these are live looks over their fan fest, and you can see everybody is still having fun. It's right near Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is now known as Atlanta Stadium. So that's the latest. You see it peeking out over the corner in the back there. But we got a lot to do here in Philadelphia as well. Got some big matches coming up ahead. Of course, the July 4th match that everybody is excited about. And then also keep in mind that a lot of people are getting out to see the U.S. hopefully beat Bosnia tonight. We'll check in on how that's going when that game gets started at 8 o'clock. We've got about 15 minutes to then. You guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I got a lot more news coming your way. Welcome back into Philadelphia Live, you guys. I'm so happy you're joining me. I want to give a quick shout out to a couple of people streaming us on TikTok right now. Hey, Olivia Smith, who said hello to me. Candace Brown, Django STD. We also got D, Brenda J. Lamore, and Subject True. A couple of more of you guys are continuing to pop in. Just let me know where you're watching from. Give me a quick hey, send an emoji, and I can give you a shout out as well. Now let's get into some big news happening in our area. I heard earlier that a Pennsylvania state trooper was killed while trying to help out with an inspection on a commercial vehicle. This took place on I-81 out in Schuylkill County. Again, this happened earlier today. So they say that he was helping with that commercial vehicle when another commercial vehicle came by, struck him, and unfortunately he died in this situation. Now, our governor, Josh Shapiro, held a press conference talking to us a little bit more about who this guy was, what he meant to his community, to his friends, to his family, and I think you're gonna find this important, so let's go ahead and take a listen.
Let me begin today by saying a special thank you to Terry Purcell and his team here at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Schuylkill, we are grateful for their kindness, and we are grateful for the extraordinary skill that they demonstrated today and every single day. We're thankful to EMS, and local police, and our state police, of course. I want to thank Mayor Thomas Smith of Pottsville and all of the elected leaders who are with us today. Early this morning, Pennsylvania lost one of its finest public servants, Trooper Mike Pahara, who his loved ones called Mikey, a 20-year trooper with the Pennsylvania State Police who served his community with extraordinary distinction, was taken from us in an awful accident this morning that Colonel Bivens will detail in a moment. I had the opportunity, together with the Colonel, to spend time with some of Mike's family and friends today. His buddies said that he always wanted to be a cop. That's how they thought of themselves in high school, that they were going to travel together down this road of public service. In fact, I believe they were in the same academy class together. Mike was a devoted brother. Mike was a devoted uncle. And Mike was a devoted son. He loved cars, especially modifying them and making them go faster, and it's unclear whether they were legal cars when he was done with them, but I believe the Colonel gave him dispensation for that. He watched seemingly every documentary that was available on every streaming platform, oftentimes watching them as an uncle. I took note of the smiles that were on the faces of the people who love Mike today. They described him as funny. When they opened up to me and to the Colonel about the life he lived, they talked about his jokes. They talked about how he would bust everybody's chops and how he was just like a kind soul. I learned that he loved to cook and was a darn good cook. And a story that got me particularly was how he had just moved back in with his folks because his mom is battling cancer and he wanted to be closer to her. And his mom, Patty, needs more iron in her diet because of her health challenges. So last night, Mike made fajitas. He made steak fajitas and he made chicken fajitas. And he served the steak fajitas to his mother. And he made his dad, Big Mike, as they call him, eat the chicken because he wanted the best to go to his mom. As I said, his mom is battling cancer, and Mike, just in the last few days, helped her shave her head as she is going through her treatments. He was a loving son, and he was kind and gentle, which is interesting because he was also an outstanding wrestler. Here's a fun fact about Mike. He holds the high school record for the fastest pin in Pennsylvania scholastic history. I asked how long it was, and the family told me, or his buddies told me, that it took 7 seconds. But they believe it was actually quicker, that the ref just couldn't get there fast enough to make the count. So perhaps that record is even stronger. He was a good man, and he was a good cop, and he was taken from us far too soon as he served our community. We're all going to miss him. And as I said to his mom and his dad and his sister, we will be there for you now, and we will be there for you every day into the future, whether that's a month from now, a year from now, a decade from now. The Pennsylvania State Police family and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is grateful for Mike's service, and we will always be there for him. I have ordered the flags of this Commonwealth to be flown at half-staff to honor the service of Mike Pahara, of Trooper Mike Pahara. That order will go into effect momentarily. I ask the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to pray for the Pahara family, to pray for his friends and neighbors, to pray for Troop L, where Mike served, and of course to pray for the entire Pennsylvania State Police family. These women and men put on a uniform every day and go out and do this work to keep us safe. And sometimes they don't come home. Today is a horrible reminder of the service and the sacrifice that they devote to this Commonwealth every single day. And as the governor of this Commonwealth, I am profoundly grateful, and I sleep better at night knowing that the Pennsylvania State Police does this work in communities all across our Commonwealth. May the memory of Trooper Mike Pahara forever be a blessing. And with that, I'd like to ask Colonel Bivens to speak on behalf of the Pennsylvania State Police about the incident today, and then we will come up and answer any of your questions. Colonel.
Good morning. This morning, just prior to 7 a.m., while Trooper Pahara was conducting motor carrier safety inspections along Interstate 81 as part of his normal duties, he had a particular truck stopped near milepost 119 on the southbound side of Interstate 81. While he had that vehicle stopped, and that was in Cass Township, while he had that vehicle stopped, he had occasion to examine the truck, and then he was speaking with the driver and was standing near the driver's door of the cab of that truck with his inspection vehicle parked behind that tractor trailer. Another tractor trailer traveling south on Interstate 81 left the roadway for, as of yet, an undetermined reason, traveled onto the berm, struck the pickup truck that the trooper had been operating, drove it forward, struck the left rear corner of the tractor trailer that was stopped and was being inspected, and then traveled at a still apparently high rate of speed and with a lot of force, drove the truck that was being inspected quite some distance down the berm and off into the grass, and then it continued along the left side of the truck that had been inspected. As it continued along that left side, it struck the trooper who was standing near that truck and continued with the trooper under the truck for quite some distance down the road. That truck, I'll refer to it as unit number 1, caught fire with the trooper trapped at the front end of the truck, and ultimately other troopers and emergency personnel came to his aid and were able to remove him from under that truck and begin to render aid. His injuries were very severe. He never regained consciousness. They continued to work on him along with EMS, who arrived on scene, transported him here to this hospital, and in total, for more than an hour and a half, a valiant attempt was made to save Trooper Michael Pahara's life, and they were unsuccessful. The man died a hero. He was an outstanding trooper, an excellent motor carrier enforcement officer, had been doing it. He was a trooper but assigned to that assignment, had been doing it for a number of years and was considered to be one of our best. As the governor said, he was nearly a 20-year veteran of the state police. He was assigned to the Troop L Frackville Station. At this point, the information I've provided you is preliminary. There is a very thorough investigation underway. We're examining both of those trucks. Again, the truck that I referred to as Operator 1 and Unit 1 was nearly completely destroyed, but we'll be working with what we have to collect evidence from that vehicle, as well as examining the operator of that vehicle and records, and everything that we can gather to get the full picture as best possible, we can determine what occurred this morning and what led to this crash. It's too early to talk about whether there will be charges. Clearly, something very bad happened here, and again, there will be a thorough investigation, and then we will work with the district attorney's office to review all of that information. I would just, I'd like to thank the staff here at the hospital, the EMS personnel, and everyone, some bystanders, everyone that attempted to render aid to the trooper. It was very much appreciated. The family is very thankful. They've had a chance to meet many of those people and express their gratitude as well. And we'll work through this and get the family through it. We will be there for them, and we'll be there for the troopers that worked with Trooper Pahara, and we'll move forward. So with that,
Thanks, Carl.
take questions.
There's a few
All right,
questions.
you guys, so that's the latest that we know about this trooper who, again, was killed during a crash. Again, they say that he was out helping another vehicle doing an inspection when another car came by, hit, and unfortunately killed him. We'll have more updates for you guys as we get them from both the State Department, from Governor Shapiro's office, and from any family and friends who may decide that they want to come out and speak publicly. In the meantime, I know our Skyfox is flying over the scene of a big fire. You can see multiple emergency vehicles. We're talking about fire trucks in the area trying to put this out. We don't have very many details on this just yet. What I can tell you, though, is this appears to be some type of recycling center that is burning. Again, it is in Philadelphia, and this is Rising Sun Avenue that we're taking a live look out at. We're going to come back here in just a little bit. We're going to take a quick commercial break and get you caught up on everything you need to know. We'll get right back to you. Hey guys, welcome back to Philadelphia Live. Again, we're taking a live look at this fire that's burning at a recycling center. This is in Philadelphia. Only thing we know so far is it's on Rising Sun Avenue. So if you live in the area, or maybe you live a couple of blocks away and you've seen the smoke, this is where it's coming from. Emergency vehicles are on the scene trying to put it out as quickly as possible. Once we figure out how this fire started, or if anything else is to report, maybe any injuries or anything of the sort, we'll try to get back out here live for you guys. In the meantime, I want to look ahead You guys are probably trying to get ready for the 4th of July, but one thing that's keeping a lot of people back is the heat. It's like oppressively hot here in Philadelphia. Now, I saw in our comment section, one of our viewers said that they don't have AC, and growing up, I didn't have AC in the house either. My mom didn't believe in it, but I'm hearing that this is not the time to play around with the cool air and making sure that you guys are being safe. So I want to turn things over to Dawn Timoney, one of our reporters. She checked in on how you can stay safe and what some of our organizations, some of our companies are doing for us. Dawn, what have you got for us?
Hi, Judea. Yeah, we actually spent the afternoon with an HVAC company out in the burbs. And as you can imagine, they are swamped. The owner of Dream Team Home Services says its HVAC customers are experiencing all kinds of problems. They're working 24/7. They're calling in extra people. They were going to give some workers Friday off for the holiday and, you know, keep some people on call, but now it's like all hands on deck. If we can show you some video, this was one of the service technicians checking out a system today, checking, you know, he has like a detailed list inside to make sure everything's working properly, and then back outside, checking the outside unit. Obviously, with temperatures soaring into the triple digits, this is not the time where you want to have your HVAC, where you want to have your air conditioning system fail on you. I mean, the timing couldn't be worse, and I can't even remember when it's been this hot out. It really is awfully oppressive. And the co-owner of Dream Team Home Services has a couple of tips that you as a homeowner can take to make sure your house stays cool and your system's working well.
This coming weather, the weather we're having now, and it's going to get hotter as the weekend comes, you know, I try and give people as many tips as possible. One of the main things is making sure you have a clean air filter. If no air is getting through that dirty filter, it's going to cause major problems to the system. You know, make sure you don't try and turn your thermostat all the way to the lowest setting. Just put it to where you want it and let the system, it's going to get there the same speed whether you turn it to 60 or you turn it to 70. It's still going to cool your house the same way. It doesn't ramp up any faster, so you're going to put a lot of extra wear and tear on that system by letting it get too cold when you don't want it to get that cold. The other thing is trying to keep the heat out. So closing your blinds, closing curtains, trying to keep that cool air in your house. Other tips would be, you know, if your system's making noise, call somebody and get them to look at it for you. It's kind of like a car. A little bit of maintenance and a little bit of love goes a long way down the road.
And that was Ryan Corbett. He's the co-owner of Dream Team Home Services. He said another thing is, you know, those outdoor units you have, like the unit inside your house, and then you have that outside part, is to make sure that it's clear of leaves and debris, because if that gets into the system, it can also cause overheating, and that's one of the major calls they're getting right now is dirt and debris in the systems causing them to overheat. Dirty filters, which is an easy thing to correct, and maintenance is key. Now, Judea, you said you didn't grow up with air conditioning, and this is really a tough time for people if they don't have air conditioning. So it's really important. There are cooling centers in a lot of different communities. You can go to the mall, you can go to your local library, anything you can do to stay cool, because it's going to be even worse tomorrow. Fortunately, I'm sitting in an air-conditioned news van, but when we were out earlier, you know, and I know you've been in and out all day, it's oppressive out there. It's dangerous. So it's important to do what you can to stay cool.
Yeah, I saw a woman walking down the sidewalk with an umbrella because she was just trying to make sure she kept the sun off her skin. And I get it. Like, that is where we're at right now. That's kind of heat we're experiencing.
Exactly. And have you seen people with the mini fans?
Yep.
I think Mayor Sherelle Parker was holding a news conference today. She had one. My husband, he had one for me, and I forgot it. I didn't need it so much today, but yeah, whatever you can do to stay cool.
I've been seeing them at concerts. I had a laugh with Shawnette a couple of days ago because I've also seen people bring them inside the clubs. But that lets me know that it actually works. If it can get through the muddiness, the humidity of a club, I know it can work for me outside. And I like what he said too about treating it the same way that you would treat your car. And I think about the way you would do a maintenance on your car. Yeah, you should do it with your home as well. And then that made me think, I think a lot of homeowners think a lot about their HVAC and their AC, but then people who live in apartments might be like, well, that maintenance isn't up to me. But then he gave us that tip of having your blinds down during the day so you're not letting that sun just come in through your windows, and that could also keep your space a little cool. I think he just gave a lot of really cool tips. Was there anything that he said that you weren't able to include that you may want to tell us now?
I mean, I think that pretty much covers it. Was, you know, keep if you're a homeowner, to make sure your outside unit is clear and free of debris and pollen and leaves and all that, because that can be a problem. But yeah, if you're in an apartment and you have air conditioning, like I remembered that from the past, like keeping my curtains closed and the blinds closed to keep the heat out and keep the cool in. And you know, it's never too late to take steps, but he did say, like, you know, when maintenance is key, like your car, right? And usually you should get your system checked in the spring. And now we're like in the summer with 100-degree temperatures. But you know, if you think, he was saying, if you think there might be something wrong or you have an older system that hasn't malfunctioned yet, you know, maybe call a professional and get them to look at it, make sure it's all systems a go, so that it doesn't break down on you. And I'm sure this is not going to be the first heat wave of the summer. I'm sure we're going to have extreme heat, as we know, we go through the rest of July and August. So if you're proactive, you might save yourself a lot of trouble.
A lot of trouble, and hopefully.
But good luck trying to get somebody to call now.
Yeah, because like you said, he's busy, he's slammed with jobs.
We're in it. We're in it.
Pro tip for anybody who does get their stuff worked on or has to get it reworked or a new system put in, always get the warranty. You think you won't need it, you don't want to spend the extra money, get the warranty. Because then if something does happen down the line, or like we have a summer like we do now, you can be covered. So just putting that out there. Dawn, thank you so much. We'll see you later on in our news. I know our broadcast is going to be pushed back a little bit because of the soccer game, but anybody who wants more information from you, they'll be able to find you, right, on Fox 29.
Absolutely.
All right.
Stay cool.
Yes, everybody stay cool. Wow. Okay, so right now we know that the USMNT game against Bosnia has gotten underway. That started at 8 o'clock. Shawnette Wilson got right out to the fans just to see how everybody's feeling. Again, that match literally just started. Shawnette, when everybody got on the pitch, like, what was the vibe where you are? And also tell us, where are you?
Judea, we're at Top Tomato in Center City. And as you mentioned, the match between Team USA and Bosnia and Herzegovina, I know I just said that wrong. It's so loud in here. I can't even hear myself as many times as I've said that today. But anyway, so we're here, and as you mentioned, the match just started. There was a full-on party before the match started with the DJ upstairs, downstairs, and of course, I don't know if you'll be able to see here, but we'll spin around. And you can see the crowd outside with the monitors watching. So people are super excited tonight. People came out really early just to make sure that they could actually get a spot to watch the match. And now they are in place looking for a victory tonight. I want to go and try to talk to someone, but you can see by the crowd that they are like dialed in, like hardcore dialed in. I'm going to try it. Marty, you think we can try it? Let me see. You made eye contact, Dimples. What do you think? How do we look so far tonight?
I don't know. I mean, it's a little close, but I think we're going to end up 3-1. You know, we're going to take the lead and hold on to it.
How exciting is this? I mean, this is do or die for us, so we got to do it.
Right, we haven't won a knockout stage since 2002.
Yeah.
So, we'd really like to move on. But Bosnia's probably got a good squad. They got a lot of big players. So, right,
All right.
big players.
What's the atmosphere in here tonight leading up to the match?
I mean, it's lit in here, right? But if we score a goal, then it'll really pop off, I think. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to back out of here. It's tight in here, Judea. Watch your back, Marty. So you heard that. I mean, he just mentioned that, we haven't had a victory in the knockout round since 2002. So this is a big deal. It's a big deal anyway because, if we don't win tonight, it's over. But we're going to be here throughout the night and wait for a victory.
I want you, if possible, can you just keep me updated if there is a goal or whatever? Like, I'd love to see the live reaction in the room. I know it's kind of hard to tell when that could happen. It can happen at any moment, but just keep me updated. And also, I don't even know if you can hear me right now because it is super loud in there, but we were able to get your report in. Ooh, what happened? Oh, I'm asking you like you could see you're in the corner. Okay, I wonder if we can see it in the replay. Okay, we're not quite clear what happened, but it looks like everybody's, like you said, locked in. Everybody's really excited to see what happens. We know Belgium won their match, and they will face whoever wins tonight, whether it's USA, we hope so, or it could be Bosnia. This is Shawnette giving us a live report from the inside of one of the bars here in Philadelphia. How lucky are these people to have actually gotten in? And hopefully inside with the AC versus all the people who are outside. One more chance, Shawnette or Marty, if you guys can hear me, can you just give me a look outside the window? I just want to see all the people lined up.
Yeah, she wants to look outside. We're trying to get away from the speakers, which is super hard.
No, you're good.
But
we actually can't.
You can see that there's like.
Yeah.
Okay. The problem is me hearing you. But so yeah, you can see how many people are out there. They've got big monitors out there, and so people don't seem to like mind the heat right now. I mean, it's down. It is what it is tonight. So I think people are willing to just, not worry about the heat. So just take in the match and cheer on the team. We just haven't really seen too many people complaining about the match. Herzegovina is what I was trying to say earlier today. Had to redeem myself. But yeah, it's a good. Yeah, it's a good time though. But I tell you what, while we're talking about, I hate to complain because we're inside, but it's just as hot inside as it is outside because there's just so many people in here. They've got a nice setup here though. We're watching too. They've got a nice setup here though. Upstairs and downstairs with monitors everywhere, and then just creating that atmosphere for people outside who couldn't get in, and just to see like the fans turn out. We're booing. We don't like opponents, Judea.
It is what it is.
So,
all right.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the end of the night looks like. But as you stated, we'll try to stay up for you. And when we score, not if, but when we score, we'll try to bring it to you. My fan lives on, Judea. It lives on.
We love to see it. Dawn would be happy to see it too. That's exactly what we were just talking about. Making sure your fans, your AC, your HVAC, all that stuff is working. We need to see
Oh!
They missed.
Okay,
Did they
well.
miss a goal?
No.
Okay. Shawnette, thank you so much for
It looked like it was going to happen until it didn't happen. But we'll check back in.
All right. See you later. You guys, there's so much happening. As you can hear and see, it is absolutely packed anywhere you want to go to watch this match. Everybody is hoping that the USA comes out on top. As you got to hear from some of the people that Shawnette was talking to, I mean, we haven't really done this in over 2 decades. So could this be our year? Could this be the time? Could this be the match? Only time will tell. We're going to finish out the round of 32 at the end of the week. But again, whoever wins tonight will face Belgium, and we are hoping that it's going to be us. You guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll get back into some of our top news of the day. Have you heard about what's been going on with Mitch McConnell? We've got an update for you when we come back. Hey, you guys, welcome back to Philadelphia Live. Maybe you heard about this, but Mitch McConnell had a health scare a couple of weeks ago. He was rushed to the hospital, and TMZ has now put out a new article that suggests that there was more to that story than they initially let on. So what we're seeing from TMZ, if we can pull up this photo just to get you guys acclimated, maybe you're not familiar with the name, but you know his face. They say that last month he had fallen unconscious at his home in DC. This was June 14th. A 911 call was made, and that's what led to him being brought to the hospital. But again, they're saying that he was actually found unconscious before that trip. At first, representatives for McConnell said that he was in excellent care. They didn't talk about what kind of medical issue he had suffered. And it's also unclear if he's still in the hospital, if he's made it back home yet. Mitch McConnell is, of course, 84 years old. He's dealt with a series of health problems over the years. You guys probably remember that video that unfortunately went viral. It showed him at a podium, and it kind of seemed like he just stopped talking altogether for a minute. And it took his aides coming up to him and, prodding him and bringing him off to the side before it seemed like he was himself again. So it's just interesting to see how this story progresses. Whatever's going on with him, whether you like him, whether you don't, it doesn't matter. I hope we can all come together and just pray that he has a healthy outcome. So that is the latest that we are learning about that situation there. Now, White House, let's move on to that. President Donald Trump has been making a lot of big moves. We talked to you guys about the Supreme Court decisions over the last couple of days and how some of them have complemented what the president wants to do and how some of them have been against what he wants to do. But President Donald Trump today put on his agenda that he was going to visit North Dakota. We actually have a couple of people from North Dakota in our live stream chat right now, by the way, so shout out to you guys. But again, he had that meeting. He went to a couple of different events. I want to let you guys hear just a little bit of what he had to talk about at one of those events. He visited the Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library that's been newly built.
I want to thank everybody. This is an honor. We love you, and you've been so nice to me with those votes. We set every record in the book. But today we come to the heartland of America to pay tribute to a man who embodied the heart and soul and fight and spirit of our country as much as anyone who ever lived. And he's a very special man, and that's why I'm here, President Theodore Roosevelt. And he loved your community, he loved your state, and he was quite something. He was really quite something. And here, beneath the wide open sky of the Badlands, I call it the Badlands. I said, what's that all about? It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool name, I have to tell you. On the steps of the burning hills, we dedicate a living monument to a legend, a statesman, a soldier, a frontiersman, and a true American hero. This is a very exciting thing for me, and number one, I have to tell you, because this was an inaugural flight of a certain airplane called Air Force One after 37 years. And it's a great plane, and we had a lot of fun with Doug and everybody coming over. But we talked about Theodore Roosevelt a lot, because he was something that was really very special. And number two, because I'm honoring Theodore Roosevelt, and that's the man who I have long admired. He's one of the few. I don't admire too many people, I have to tell you. There's not a lot of people out there. And number three, I'm back in North Dakota because I won this state with the most votes in the history of the presidency. Thank you. Thank you very much. And number four, I have two teleprompters that aren't working, and here I stand. But TR once observed that I would not have been president about himself had he not been, and had it not been for the experience in North Dakota. He had a great experience here. It really shaped him so much. So there could be no better place for this new national treasure than the Rough Rider state. I met some of the Rough Riders. They are Rough Riders. They're good riders, too. They were very impressive. Today, 107 years after he passed into eternity, Theodore Roosevelt's Presidential Library opens its doors, and the small town, but very great town, and today it's a very famous town because that's all they're talking about, of Medora opens its arms to the entire world. The entire world is watching. It's not a big town, but it's a very powerful town because of what was left behind. I want to thank the thousands of people who worked so hard to make this project a reality, and you really did. You made it a beautiful reality. Very few places will top it. And starting with the man who put the library in its first funding, think of it, he did so much. He raised so much money. He did so many different things. He really did. He had a very complete life when you think. He was a real man of many forms of genius, and without whom it would never have been possible, Secretary of the Interior. And I'll tell you what, I thought he was an oil man, and he wasn't. I saw him on a debate because this guy was actually going against me. Can you believe it? But I thought he was very impressive. I thought his wife, Catherine, was even more impressive, to be honest with you. And so impressive that I said, he's a good man. That guy's all right. But he's been fantastic. He's been a tremendous Secretary of the Interior and the best ever. There's never been a Secretary of the Interior like Doug Burgum. Thank you very much. Thank you. Never been. And, you know, Doug called me. He said, would you do me a favor? He's really fantastic because I did not know the gentleman too well. But he said, Kelly Armstrong is fantastic. Would you endorse him for governor? And I did, and he won easily. Kelly Armstrong. Great job you're doing. Great job. And two of my very good friends, two warrior senators, they're tough cookies, they're tough. Oh, I wish they could get their way. We could get a couple of little things passed, like voter identification, like proof of citizenship. It's called Save America. You know, that's pretty good. Save America, can you imagine? We have 100% of the Democrats against it and 4 or 5 Republicans, if you can believe that. What are they all about? But these two people are with us all the way, John Hoeven and Kevin Cramer, senators. They're great. Two great guys. And a congresswoman who fights and gets what she wants, and she's very respected, Julie Fedorchak. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. Very, very respected. And we have our ambassador, Monica. Where's Monica? Monica Crowley. Fantastic. Acting Secretary of the Navy, Hung Cao. And we're building a lot of ships. North Dakota House Speaker, Robin Wise. Thank you. Thank you. Doing a great job. State House Majority Leader, Mike LaFleur. Mike. Thank you, Mike. State Senate Majority Leader, David Hogue. Thank you, David. And all of the members of the North Dakota legislature, I hear every single one. I'm not going to introduce you. You have no chance of that. I'll be here all day, but you're all here. We love you, and you've been with us from day one. Thank you very much. Thank you. And the CEO, who's done a fantastic job, he took me around. I thought it would be maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I've been doing this for 2 hours. Thank goodness I love the subject, or I would not have put up with it. Doug said you could come in. You know, I'm prosecuting a war, which we're winning very easily, by the way. But I said, Doug, let's fly in. We'll do 10, 15 minutes. I know I'm going to love it. And then I'll get out. Oh, absolutely, sir. So then time comes. He got me making speeches. I was over there 2 hours. I know more about that museum than the people that built it. But that's okay, because they did a very good job. I can report that they did a really good job. The CEO of the Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library, who really did give me a tremendous amount of knowledge, I mean, about things that I never would have thought could have been possible about how great this man was, Ed O'Keefe. Ed, thank you very much. And two of my sons are here, Eric and Don. And Bettina, thank you very much. Don just got married. Bettina, thank you. It's going to be great. Thank you very much. But the members of the Roosevelt family and countless foundation staff, donors, and supporters, everyone's here. And I understand that one local construction worker delayed his retirement by 4 years just to be involved with the building, and they heard I was going to come. I was coming even when I wasn't president. I had agreed to come, and they said, well, when we do it, you're going to be president. So that was during that ridiculous time, that ridiculous 4-year period of time. They asked me to come. I said, I'd love to come. And I said, I may or I may not be president. They said, we don't care. We want you to be there. And I always remember that. But they said, you're going to win. You know that. If you run, you're going to win. It turned out we did quite easily, actually. And today I can tell you that we can see why it was worth it. It's really amazing. They've done an amazing job, beautiful job. And, you know, they've done it from love. Jobs that are done from love are always better than jobs where you sort of have to follow a plan. They made lots of changes, and every one of them was good, and I think I know about every one of them. After 2.5 hours, I learned every single one of them. But I want to really thank everyone who greeted me at the train station because that was so famous. That was such a famous train. The last one was President Dwight Eisenhower, and he was actually a very good president. People don't realize he was a general, good general, and he built the interstate highway system. I'd say that alone is pretty good. He was a good, and now he was the last one. He was on the back of the exact same train. So the head of the railroad, he was fabulous, and they were explaining all about the train, and they said, wow, that's really some history in the crowd. We had thousands of people over there. It was fantastic. But I have the picture of President Eisenhower in the back of the train, the same exact train. I checked it out because I said, we don't want to make any mistakes because the fake news is watching and they'll say it wasn't. It wasn't the same train. It wasn't the same train. No, they've been pretty nice to me lately. Look, when you do as well as we're doing, they have to be nice, I guess. They've been pretty nice. And I want to give a very special thanks to the Patriots who gave us such an incredible escort from town. We had more law enforcement. I love law enforcement. Now, according to the people that are running on the other side, in many places, they want to defund the police. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. We see them all the time. They said they're social democrats. Doesn't it sound pretty? They're actually communists, but we'll get into that a little bit later. They're not going to win. They're not going to win anything. They got some very unattractive candidates, I have to say. During my first term, it was a privilege to sign the bill that helped get this incredible project underway and transferring 90 acres. We took it right out of the federal government. We ripped it away from the federal government. They don't know what's missing. They still haven't figured out what the hell happened. And today, the artistry and scholarship, technical skill on display right here and in that museum in particular is just fantastic. It's really great. Things that they actually gave me. We're going to build our museum in Miami. They got me a lot of ideas, Doug. You gave me a lot of ideas, Doug.
All right, you guys, we're going to put a pin in that. Just a pause. If you guys want to continue listening to where he was, let me know in our live stream chat. We'll get back to it in a second. But keep in mind, the FIFA World Cup is going on right now. The USA, they're battling out, duking it out with Bosnia as we speak. There was a moment where we thought we got our first goal of the match. And then we found out maybe we weren't correct about it. Give me 1 second. I want to let you guys see what the fans went through at Haddonfield in New Jersey.
With great pressure there, McKinney in for flow ball. McKinney falls. He takes it down. Once again, the flag comes up for offside. We saw that happen in Seattle. So we'll take a look at the video. Well, great pressure from Weston.
As you can see, it was like a moment where everybody just lost their marbles. Everybody was super duper excited. And then, I don't know if you heard it, but the announcer then announces that it was actually offside. So this was a goal made by Folarin Balogun. He thought again that he had made it. Everyone did. They went crazy out in the crowds, not just there in New Jersey. We also have a watch party that we're keeping our eyes on in Pennsylvania, here in Philadelphia. That also went crazy. But then literally seconds after, we heard that he was flagged for an offside, so that point was taken right back off of the board. But if we were able to get at least one goal, and we're not even at halftime just yet, we're only about 37 minutes into the match, I think that we can do it again. So we'll keep our eyes on what's happening out there for you. I told you I will try to keep you guys updated as much as I possibly can. Since we can't show you the game, we'll talk through the game together. Now, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Again, let me know if you want to go back to where President Donald Trump was speaking right outside the Presidential Library Center. And if we do, we'll go back to that. If you don't, we'll move on to another topic. We'll be right back. right, welcome back in to Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. Right before the commercial break, I asked you guys to vote on in if you wanted to stick around with President Donald Trump's remarks earlier today at the Presidential Library for Theodore Roosevelt, or if you wanted to move on to another topic, and the consensus is that we are moving on. So, earlier, Secretary Markwayne Mullin, he's over the Homeland Security, he had a press conference and he talked a little bit more about deportation, of immigration. He also touched base on the One Big Beautiful bill. I want to let you guys listen in to what he had to say as he talked more and more about President Donald Trump and his policies.
On securing our southern border with new technology, fighting hard against the drug cartels, going after the narco boats, bringing law and order and restoring law and order back to our streets. One death in an illegal's hand is one death too many. President Trump has made it a pivotal statement when he says we're going to restore law and order back to our streets regardless of what state or what city you live in. President Trump ran on that, and he's keeping that promise, and the One Big Beautiful bill delivered on that. But at the same time, it puts our fiscal house in order. And so to be on this side of it now, seeing the results that are taking place, working with ICE, working with CBP, working with the Coast Guard, seeing what that investment means, seeing what we're doing every single day in our waters, on our borders, and in our cities on getting the worst of the worst out because we have continuous funding is absolutely remarkable. And then someone I have to point out, Representative Mike Lawler, who fought every day for SALT and the One Big Beautiful bill. Now, be quite frank with you, we didn't see eye to eye on this. But this is what representation looks like. This is why you represent good leaders to go to Congress every single day and represent your backyard. That's what our founding fathers wanted. Our founding fathers wanted individuals that's going to go there and represent what the best of the best can offer when you elect the right people, put them in the right place, and they understand the value of the United States. So with that, we're going to stop and open up for questions.
Surges in American cities, and also we've seen somewhat of an increase in arrests. Is that a result of pressure coming from the White House, the administration, Stephen Miller?
Every single day we allow our men and women, be it ICE, be it CBP, or one of the other 80,000 law enforcement agencies we have in DHS to simply do their job. My perspective when I came in is I had the best individuals working inside the Department of Homeland Security through all 22 components. They're patriots, and our job is to protect the homeland. We're not necessarily surging. We're going after the worst of the worst every single day, and we work in conjunction with the White House and the President's policies and deliver on that. We're seeing our arrest numbers come up. We're seeing our deportation numbers continue to increase. Right now, we're deporting on average over 3,000 individuals. Actually, the average has been for several weeks now, over 3,200 individuals a day. 70% of those individuals we're deporting have outstanding criminal charges on them, or they've already been charged with a felony. 70% of those individuals. 70% of the individuals that our men and women throughout DHS arrest, be it ICE, CBP, or one of our other components, 70% of those individuals have pending felony charges or are current felons that shouldn't be on our streets. So when we go after the worst of the worst, which is exactly what we're doing, we're saving lives. This is a statistic I like to put out, but 50% of the individuals killed in Fairfax County, Virginia, are killed at the hand of an illegal. Over 41 individuals year to date have been killed in Tennessee at the hands of an illegal. 100% of those deaths are preventable because those individuals shouldn't be in this country. So when you say surge, we're surging every day because we're trying to restore law and order, regardless if you live in a red state or a blue state. But sanctuary cities create a safe haven for criminal activity, and it shouldn't take place. Regardless of what your opinion is about this administration, regardless of what your opinion is, if you're a Republican or Democrat, we should all agree we should want safe streets and safe cities. So there should be no argument and participating in arresting the worst of the worst. But because of some of the radical policies we have that's happening right here in New York, with a mayor that's not even wanting to fully fund the NYPD, which is, I would arguably say, one of the best law enforcement agencies in the country, and not giving them the resources they need, speaks volume of a socialist's mentality. Yes.
Operations in New York City. Can you clarify whether additional ICE personnel or resources have been deployed in New York and whether New York has been cooperative?
Well, we wouldn't give you our operational procedures if we were going to do it anyways, but either way, every day we're going after the worst of the worst. And because of some of the policies that we see coming out of New York, especially New York City, we are possibly having to flex a little bit more because we see a lot more criminal activity. People think that it's just the illegals that are here. The illegals, if you come around, it also has cartels that follow. We have serious gang violence that takes place. We've arrested some of the worst of the individuals that's coming out of New York City because they feel like it's a safe haven. And when they come in here, they also bring in tremendous amount of organized crime along the way. And then it spreads out to other cities that may not participate in the same direction that Mamdani wants to take this city. So we're going after the head of the snake. And if that's in sanctuary cities, we'll go to sanctuary cities to get rid of the worst of the worst. Yes.
With the Supreme Court victory on TPS, are you going to be going after Haitians living in the country, Syrians living in the country? What's the path forward?
Well, I hate when it's phrased going after individuals. The fact is, TPS for certain individuals under the court ruling, they no longer have status. TPS was temporary. It was never meant to be permanent status. You had an opportunity while you were here to possibly try to change your status. Now that the court ruling has went out, you no longer have that option. You have to go back to a country that either take you or back to the country you came from. And if you deport yourself, which we will give you $2,600 plus a plane ticket to go home, you had the opportunity at that point to fill out it legally for a visa or another way to come back in this country, but you have to come in through our immigration systems and follow our laws, not illegally. But if we have to arrest you and deport you, that option of coming back in this country is off the table. So we would encourage everybody that fell underneath TPS, that is no longer temporary protected status for you, your time has expired. Go to our website, sign up for self-deportation. We'll help you get to the country that you came from, or get you to the country that are willing to accept you. Fill out the paperwork, and maybe you can come back and participate in the American dream.
You spoke about Mike Lawler. That's his big cause. He's got a lot of Haitians who live in the Hudson Valley. Have you spoken to him about this? And it's big for the healthcare community here in New York too.
Mike and I have spoken almost daily. In fact, I've already talked to him today about this. He's trying to figure out the path forward. As I told him, he needs to encourage all the Haitians that are still underneath TPS status, or was underneath TPS status, to self-deport so they can have the opportunity to come back. So we're trying to work out, possibly even attach somebody with his office to help process the self-deportation. And then once they get back into the country they're going to, either a host country or the country that they originated from, to fill out that paperwork and streamline it. We have, listen, I didn't pass the laws, at least not now. I'm in a position to simply enforce the laws. And so my job is not to pick and choose which law we're going to enforce. We're going to enforce the nation's laws that's on the books. So when you say zero tolerance, yes, we have zero tolerance because it's the law. Yes, ma'am.
As you know, in the past year, there's been several security incidents involving top officials. Looking ahead to America 250, what do you consider to be the greatest security threat, and are you confident that the country is prepared to meet it?
We are confident through DHS because it's our responsibility that we're going to meet the needs, and we're going to have a very secure, through World Cup or through the Freedom 250 celebration. We're out there every single day. We deployed all of our assets. We're working great. Even in sanctuary cities, we have good cooperation right now with those individuals, making sure that our guests get to see what America is all about and really highlight the past 250 years and where we're going to be going over the next 250 years. So we feel very confident in the position. However, we still deal with the unknowns. Since President Trump has come into office, we have arrested over 1,900 known terrorists that came in underneath the Biden administration. These aren't people that are on terrorist watch list. These were 1,900 individuals that were already known terrorists that came in underneath the Biden administration. We know they don't have America's best interest in mind. So those individuals that we constantly fight every single day and go after with our partners at the FBI.
We're going to let the secretary finish his thoughts, but I do want to let you know that we just saw another score from Team USA, and it looks like they did leave it up on the board. So this one counts, you guys. You're taking a look at some video from Haddonfield, New Jersey. One of our photographers is out there getting live reactions. So on the left side, you see that video, the moment that Team USA scored against Bosnia. Again, the score now is 1-0. Soon we'll be going into our halftime. We'll see where we stand after that. The top right corner is the actual live video right now. You can see it's the same people out there enjoying themselves out and about. If we see another score, I'll get you that video as well. Now let's go back in and continue listening to Senator McMullin.
In 2018, 2019, and we have been continuing following and building that groundwork he laid out back then. We're building up on, and I think we're in very good shape.
Last question.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Secretary, a candidate for Congress here in New York, Daria Liza Avila Chevalier, has said that she's not okay with any deportation.
Right.
Some other people who won primaries recently for higher office share similar views. Are you concerned about this latest crop of democratic socialists affecting your work?
Well, I would say we went past socialist and now moved into communist. I'm for law and order. Full stop. If you're not, we have nothing in common. Who doesn't want our kids to be able to walk on our streets safe? Who doesn't want to hear kids playing outside again? What parent? I'm a father of 6. And I have a grandchild coming in August. Who doesn't want their kids or their grandkids to be raised in a safe area? And you should feel safe, even if you're in New York or in Oklahoma, whatever state you come from. And so when you have a aspiring politician that wants to go to Congress and says that they don't want to enforce our nation's laws, especially when it comes to immigration and understanding the amount of people we're getting out of this country that are gangbangers, complete thugs, murderers and rapists. They're poisoning our streets. We've had more deaths per year because of fentanyl poisoning than we had in the entire time we were in Vietnam. And they're saying they don't want to get those individuals out of this country. I'm sorry, you absolutely have no place to be serving in Congress. When I first got there 13 years ago, I would never have thought we're in the position we're in today. I mean, unfortunately, the Democrat Party is not the Democrat Party of JFK anymore. It's the Democrat Party of Bernie Sanders, who openly claims to be a socialist communist. That's not the foundation of this country. We can disagree on policy. We will not have an argument when it comes to the foundation of this country. We won't let that happen. We won't let them tear it apart, and that's where this party is going right now.
Thank you, President.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, so as you got to hear, he finished up his remarks there. You guys will have more big news coming up for you soon, but I also want to bring you right back out live to Haddonfield, New Jersey, again, where we know that fans are watching live as Team USA takes on Bosnia. We did finally score, and it was kept on the board, and it was a great moment because Folarin Balogun finally got his score, his goal to count. So right now the score is 1-0. Technically it's anybody's game. We're about 54 minutes into the match. That means we've got a lot more soccer left to be played. It's possible that we could have overtime. It's possible that we could see penalty kicks. But right now that's where the score stands, 1-0. We'll continue checking in on it for you guys. And I also want to let you know we're going to get into some of our trending stories, what's going on around town, what you guys are most interested in talking about when we come back. All right, welcome back to Philadelphia Live. You're taking a live look on the Ben Franklin Bridge. I want to let you know, they say as dusk continues to fall and it gets darker, we're expecting to see some pretty lights out there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a nice night. So if you're heading on home or going out, I don't know what your plans might be, but if you happen to make your way to Ben Franklin Bridge, again, you're going to see some beautiful, beautiful lights. We're celebrating America's 250th birthday, July 4th, and Team USA hopefully coming out on top tonight.
Fingers crossed.
Amen.
A lot going on today. A lot going on.
Yeah, that's what's happening here. But Jake, I know you had to see earlier today those two people who climbed the Empire State Building.
Yes. What? I literally walked in, sat down, and everyone was like, "You just missed something crazy." And I was like, "What?" And they were like, "These two people were scaling that Empire State, and you're never gonna believe what happened." And I was like, "What?" And they were like, "There was a proposal." I was like, "What? What?"
Because of course, if I climbed up all this way and I risked my life, I better be either getting married. This better be the last day that I'm living, and I'm just trying to do all the things.
Yes.
Or I don't know what else you could possibly want. But you're seeing video there as they one by one make their way to the tippy top, and then as Jake mentioned, at some point in time they went back down just like a little bit, and he popped the question. So it was a couple.
Yes, it's a couple. They actually they had a big Netflix documentary a couple years ago. Yes.
Okay, it's starting to make sense.
Yes. So I don't know if this was like a planned stunt or something, or I mean they came down and they were taken into custody, which makes me believe that it wasn't. However, Netflix was kind of posting about them, so it makes you wonder, you know.
Was there an ulterior motive? Was it just like two daredevils who want a little attention?
Their names are Angela and Ivan. They're a couple, and they are known for doing stuff like this. Like I was doing a little research, and apparently, I want to get this term right. Let me double check. Okay. It's called rooftopers. That's what they're called.
Rooftopers.
Yes, doing this climbing, and according to multiple people who are into all of this, they are two of the biggest rooftopers like ever. Like
I've never heard of
they
this.
have like they almost have like a fan base. Like they have a pretty big reputation. I want to say it was around 2022 they broke into and scaled the second tallest building in the world. So like that's kind of what their biggest one was.
Okay, so they're just gonna rush
Yes,
out of this.
yes.
And people love watching them do it.
Yes, I mean, again, the fact that they have a documentary on Netflix, like people are really into it. For me personally, I'm having a hard time watching this footage because it's stressing me out so bad.
There's no way that you can have a harness on in this kind of situation.
No.
It's literally just you against, I guess, the wind.
Yes.
And I saw as I was coming in, I was watching Jen Frederick's show, the 12 to 2 with Philadelphia Live.
Yes.
And I saw that they had this flag, so I was like, well, what does it say?
Yes.
Apparently it reads, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace." So.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's their message. In addition to, "Will you marry me?" And I guess the answer was yes.
Yes.
But then they're arrested afterward.
Yes. It's so interesting because obviously when this was unfolding initially, there was so much buzz. Like even now, if you go look at like the Google Trends and stuff, this is like number one. On our website, it's number one. Like people are really interested. And obviously when it was unfolding, a lot of people didn't know if it was like some sort of big like political statement or protest or some sort of like art thing, which it seems like they flew the banner, but it seems like the main purpose was for him to propose.
Yeah.
So it was funny because people were kind of theorizing, is it this, and then something completely different, you know?
It's love.
It is love, yes. And so their 2024 Netflix documentary was actually called Skywalkers, a love story. So good for them. I mean,
oh Lord,
I don't know if anyone is ever gonna have a better proposal story. They set the
Please
bar
don't try to top this.
really high, literally and figuratively. So
Yeah, well, I'm glad like it all worked out in a sense, because had this gone a completely different way,
Yes.
so many people were streaming
Yes.
it. This video was
Yes.
everywhere.
Yes.
So yeah, happy that they made it
Yes.
down.
I think actually one of them was live on some sort of platform. I
course
think.
they were. Everybody
yes,
is a
I'm
streamer.
not 100% sure, but I think
Mhm.
I saw footage. I don't know if they were live or if there was just some video
Mm-hmm.
from their perspective. I definitely saw like one of them with their phone out, like, you know, going like that. And I saw that video. I almost.
Mhm. So, of course, in addition to that possible second point of view,
Yes.
the NYPD also released some body
Yes.
cam footage. A lot of people were wondering what the arrest looks
Right.
like
Yes.
because you can't necessarily also scale up the side of the building
Yeah.
and think that you're going to
Right.
make a safe arrest.
Right.
So they had to meet them kind of halfway,
Yes.
and then they were in custody. So, yeah, anyway, that happened in New York.
Yes.
But let's bring things back here to Philadelphia. What are the people searching for in our area? Or do you want to get into our question of the night?
Well, I feel like they kind of go hand in hand.
Okay.
Because another huge trend is the heat. You know, as you can see,
Everybody's
we
gonna look that
had
up, yep.
all our reporters tonight were talking about the heat in some ways.
Because we're getting
Yes.
into triple digit
Yes.
weather. Are
Yes.
y'all ready for 100
Yes.
degree plus weather?
No.
And that's not the feel like temperature.
Yes.
That's what it's actually going to be.
Yes, it's wild. And so in addition to all the heat, today actually was Wawa Hoagie Day. So yes, they did this big thing this afternoon on Independence Hall. They like had a bunch of people assembling these turkey hoagies, and they gave some out. They donated some. They gave some out for free to the community. I want to say it was a lot. I want to say like maybe like 30,000.
Dang.
I think, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. It was a lot. A lot of people talking about that, searching that. That was number 2 for us trending below the heat.
Oh, the heat and then the climbers.
Yes. And so I'm actually working right now for social. I'm editing together. Greg Payne did such a fantastic story earlier, like talking about the heat, but also the Hoagie Fest and, you know, how people are staying cool at City Hall. It's a really great piece. It's going to be uploaded to socials very soon, so you guys definitely go and check that out.
Make sure you're following
Yes.
us. And we're also going to show the people Greg's story a little later
Yes.
on as well. So keep that
Yes.
in mind. All right. In addition to the heat, related to the heat, we wanted to know with 4th of July coming
Yes.
up, like, how are you guys maybe changing your plans, or has it changed anything at all? Do you still plan on getting outside? So I wanted to know, what are you going to do? How are you spending your holiday?
Yeah, so we ran a poll as usual. You can find it at fox29.com/go-vote. Always, always, always Fox Local tab, basically saying, how do you plan on celebrating the 4th of July? So right now, in the lead, watch fireworks. What we're going to be doing, 34%. Behind that, Ty, head down the shore, barbecue, both at 22%. 11%, I'm surprised it's not higher. Stay inside. And then other, leave a comment, 11%. I was scrolling through comments. A lot of those people were saying, we're staying inside. It's too hot. I get
it.
Yes, I saw one comment from a woman talking about how she's staying inside because her pets usually get really nervous and she wants to be a good pet mom and keep them nice and safe and make sure that they're all good, which I think that's really sweet.
That's
So,
very responsible too.
Yes.
And I'm actually trying to put together, I'd like to get an interview where you guys can learn a little bit more about our fur babies during this point in time,
Yes.
especially if you just got a dog or a cat. Like, the fireworks might be great for you, but it is terrifying for
Yes.
some of our fur babies.
Yes.
So I'm hoping to get an expert on the
Yes.
show, maybe tomorrow or Friday, to talk to us
Yes,
how to
stay
keep
tuned
your
for
babies
that.
safe. Yeah. Thank you for bringing us our trending news.
Yes, a
Talk
lot
to me
going on
about that.
today. A lot going on today.
Absolutely. Y'all are wild. You're making New York look bad. I've been working really hard on the New York PR here, and then y'all just go scale, but I can't. You guys, we still got a lot of news ahead for you all. We can actually get into some of the local headlines. I've got this video up of this officer-involved shooting that a lot of people in our comment section have been asking me
Yes.
about. So in my opinion, this is one of our trending stories as well. So maybe you heard about it. It's the Wilmington officer this OIS video. We also got the victims video, if we can share that with our audience so they know who we're talking about here. But, I can still get into it. We're hearing that there was this issue. We here at Fox 29 have put together some stories that are available on our website. There we go. Okay. So the victim in this case, his name is Kadir Skinner. And by victim, I'm saying that he is the individual who lost his life in this situation. So according to our reports, there was some sort of kerfuffle, I'll put it like that, between a 19-year-old, Kadir Skinner, and the Wilmington Police Department. There were officers who were on scene. They say during this, as I'm putting it, kerfuffle, the police end up shooting him. They ended up also killing him. His father talked to us here at Fox 29 Philadelphia, and he says that this wasn't right. He's wishing there could be more transparency from the police department. He's also thinking that they're not telling the full truth about what happened in this situation. At the same time, we're getting reports from the police department that say that Kadir had pointed a gun into a crowd, that he had ran away from the situation, and when confronted by police, wasn't very open, and they say that's what led up to the violent confrontation. So again, you're taking a look at his photo there. Now, the Wilmington City Council, they all got together at a press conference, and 10 out of the 13 of those members actually say that they want accountability from the police department and transparency as well. So in a way, it seems that they agree with Skinner's father. Now, I want to let you guys listen in. They, again, held that press conference, not just talking about this situation, but also calling to end gun violence in general. Take a listen.
Across Wilmington, we are grieving. We are angry, we are frustrated, and we are suspicious. We are demanding answers. And these feelings are real, they are understandable, and they deserve to be acknowledged, not ignored. In moments like these, leadership matters. Silence creates uncertainty, and uncertainty erodes public trust. Our residents deserve to know that their leadership sees their pain, hears their concerns, and are committed to pursuing the truth. I also want to be very candid about the role of City Council during this process. This is not a City Council-led investigation. We are not directing the investigation whatsoever, nor do we have access to all of the facts or evidence. Unfortunately, we do not have any pertinent information that we can share with the public at this time. And I know that is frustrating, but many of us on council share that frustration. Because like the community, we are also waiting for answers. But we are here today because we want our community to know that we care. And this is why it is so important for our mayor to speak directly to the people of Wilmington, not through a written press release and not through Facebook. And no one is asking for the mayor to compromise an active investigation or disclose information that cannot be legally released. But the people deserve to hear their mayor acknowledge this tragedy, recognize their pain, and the concerns that exist throughout our neighborhoods. Simply acknowledging the moment matters. Demanding accountability is not the same as rushing to judgment. Every investigation must be thorough, independent, and fair. But it also must be transparent, timely, and conducted in a manner that gives the public confidence that justice will be pursued wherever the facts lead. The people of Wilmington deserve more than promises. They deserve openness. They deserve honest communication, and they deserve accountability from every institution entrusted with protecting our community. As president of Wilmington City Council, I will continue to press for a complete and transparent investigation and will work with my colleagues on council to ensure that every appropriate question is asked and answered. While council cannot conduct this investigation, we can and we will continue to demand accountability, transparency, and regular communication with the public. But this responsibility does not rest with the government alone. And while I respectfully call upon our mayor to address the people of Wilmington without further delay, I also call upon every elected official, every faith leader, every community organization, every civil rights organization, and every civic leader to step forward and speak to this moment. Our community needs leadership, visible leadership, not silence. This is not a time for private conversations behind closed doors, while the public is left wondering whether anyone hears their pain. This is a time for leaders to stand together, to publicly acknowledge the hurt and frustration that so many residents are experiencing, and to reaffirm our collective commitment to justice, transparency, and accountability. Leadership is not measured by what is said in private meetings. Leadership is measured by the willingness to stand before the public during difficult moments, to acknowledge their pain, and to assure them that their voices matter. I urge all of you to continue to demand answers, to continue to hold your government accountable, and continue to do so in a way that keeps our community safe. The family deserves answers. The community deserves transparency. This investigation must be thorough and independent. Every leader must have the courage to speak. And the people of Wilmington deserve leadership that is visible, accountable, and present in this moment.
All right, you guys, so there you were listening in to just a little bit of a press conference that happened earlier where they were addressing this situation between that 19-year-old who was killed in the Wilmington Police Department, who some of city council is hoping will be more transparent, will speak up about what exactly took place there. Now, again, we're getting very different what people are saying happened in that situation. It's very different depending on who you ask, where some people say that Skinner was the aggressor, that he had pointed a gun at a crowd of people and then ran away. And then other people saying that maybe there's more of them, what we're hearing of what happened, and they're calling for the body cam footage to be released. I'm seeing that at some point in time the family may be able to review that. I don't know if it will be made public or if that will be given to the press here. Of course, we can only do what we do best as reporters, as journalists, and try to request that footage as a public record, but it's up to the police department of whether or not they actually give that out. All right, let's move on. You heard about this train derailment that really shut down regional service. Depending on where you were coming from, this may have really impacted your commute to or from work. This happened the other day, but we are hearing that today they have finally decided that they will be able to resume service. So around 3 p.m. today, that is when service was resumed. This is the regional rail train that we're talking about that went off the tracks in a horrible accident. It appears that no one was injured. The cars were carrying some materials that at one point in time they weren't quite sure whether it would be harmful to neighbors, residents, but it turns out that everybody is okay. And again, no one was injured in this situation. They say 47 people were aboard that particular line train when it derailed. This happened around midnight. All right, you guys, in another story, we've been letting you know more and more about this investigation into the death of Billy Schmidt. He's what was a Penn State student, a beloved young man to his community, to his friends, to his family. They say that he was walking home, I think it was around 1 a.m., and they say two people approached him. They had exchanged words about his phone. Police believe that they were trying to rob him. Now, in this situation, you can also see from some video that we've gotten from neighbors that apparently one of them turns around, points a gun at him, and there's the moment right there. You can see the flashbang right there. So they shoot him, they kill him, and unfortunately they say they left them in the street. All right, we've actually also have gotten some breaking news of some sorts. So what I was going to let you know is the U.S. Marshals have been offering a reward for 2 teens that they're trying to take into custody. And I'm seeing right now from Frank Venor, he works with the Philadelphia Police Department, like literally just put this out on X. It says the U.S. Marshals executed their homicide arrest warrant in Colorado and took 16-year-old Azubair Outen Fleming into custody. He's being charged with the murder of Billy Schmidt. Again, that murder happened on June 6, 2026, so we're just now getting this in. Once again, if you're just now joining us or if you missed what I was talking about, we knew before that the U.S. Marshal's Office, they were offering $5,000 for any information that could help them make an arrest in relation to this death of Billy Schmidt, the Penn State student. Now we're getting from Frank Venor from the Philadelphia Police Department that the U.S. Marshals have executed that homicide arrest warrant all the way out in Colorado. They say they took 16-year-old Azubair Outen Fleming into custody, and he's being charged with murder. Thank you, Jake. We got that update for you guys in real time, and that's what I love about this live streaming kind of situation where we can talk about something, we can take a second to look it up, we can take a second to get live updates and breaking news just like this for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions about what's happening here in our comment section. I'm able to read those as well and answer any questions that you guys may have. Now, I do believe there was a second 16-year-old as well in this situation. That person, let me get you his name, Kaisim Smith. And I think they are still looking for Kaisim. It's not clear whether or not he was out there in Colorado with the other young man or whether he's gone somewhere else, but it does look like they were both at large. So again, they're still offering $5,000 of reward for information to make that second arrest. All right, you guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, remember the heat is one of our biggest oppressors today. It's been keeping a lot of people down, but a lot of people say, that's no problem. I'm still going to get out and have a good time. We'll be checking in with our meteorologist on what we can expect for the rest of the week when we come back. Welcome back into Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. The sun has gone down, but honestly, it's still pretty dang hot outside. I want to check in with our meteorologist, Scott Williams. Scott, we've been talking all day about how it's hot. Like, that is not the news of it all, but like, just how hot are we talking?
Well, today, Judea, high temperatures made it up to 97 degrees. For Thursday and Friday, what about 104 to 105 degrees? That will be the air temperature, but feels like temperatures will be approaching 110 stifling degrees, all because of this heat dome you've been hearing about over the past several days building. I mean, this thing is sprawling. We're talking about millions of folks impacted. So it's not just us, it's folks in New England, the mid-Atlantic, south of us into places like Virginia, the Carolinas, into the southeast, as well as folks in the South Plains around Texas, moving back into sections of the Midwest and parts of the Great Lakes. Feels like temperatures getting well over 100 degrees. So what's that cumulative effect that will begin to take a toll on us if it isn't already? If you stepped outdoors for any length of time today, you felt the feels like temperatures in the triple digits. We have this big ring of fire, if you will. So most of the storms are up and over this area of high pressure, which is just to the south and west of us. So you can see storms moving through places like Alabama, Mississippi, and then as you get into Iowa, sections of Wisconsin, and then around parts of the Great Lakes, also into upstate New York, into Vermont and New Hampshire, looking at thunderstorms. We saw a few isolated storms kind of popping up for parts of our area this afternoon. But then as we progress over the next several days, I think we'll see more coverage. 89 degrees still at this 9 o'clock hour. Feels like temperatures are still around 100 degrees, believe it or not, stepping outdoors. It's 90 still in Reading, 86 in Wilmington, upper 80s currently in Hamilton, New Jersey. Now take a look at this. We talked about that feels like temperature. Yeah, the century mark at 9 o'clock for Philadelphia. It feels like 103 in Pottstown. It feels like 103 for Reading. So that is that toll on our bodies that we've been talking about over the next several days. For the overnight, low temperatures bottom out in the mid to upper 70s. So we'll be lucky to make it below 80 degrees tonight for Philadelphia. The average low this time of year should be around 68 degrees. So when you start the morning at 80 degrees, yeah, it's going to heat up pretty rapidly. In fact, we're looking at 104 for Thursday. Friday, 105 degrees. The all-time hottest temperature ever recorded for Philadelphia, by the way, is 106 degrees. That's set back in 1918. So we're going to be flirting with that. And then we keep things hot for Saturday, still monitoring some pop-up showers and thunderstorms for the 4th of July. And then also for Friday afternoon and evening, looking at some storms. Those temperatures certainly challenging those records out there. The record for Thursday is 103 degrees. The record for Friday is 104 stifling degrees. As we take a look at the forecast for the shore, temperatures for Thursday right around 86 degrees, numbers around 90 for Friday and Saturday. So it's still going to be hot down the shore, but I mean, we're still talking about temperatures cooler than 105 degrees for some of the inland areas as we get toward the next couple of days. Water temperature still a little chilly in the upper 60s. So take a look at this. The rainfall chances, those start to ramp up as we progress toward the holiday weekend as well. Just a pop-up shower perhaps Thursday, Friday, Saturday, more scattered activity as we center around the daytime heating. Between 2 p.m. and 7 would be the best bet. And then we still have some chances after the sun sets, but typically once that sun sets, we see the coverage diminish because we've kind of lost the instability with that daytime heating. But by Sunday and Monday, the rainfall chances are even higher. Now, the threat for severe weather as we move toward Friday, scale of 1 to 5, it is a level 2. That's the slight risk in the yellow. That means more scattered severe thunderstorms. The main threat would be some damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour as we monitor this system. So here's a look at Friday, one computer model kind of showing you it goes in tandem with that area that was in yellow from the Poconos to the Lehigh Valley, into the suburbs, and then into parts of South Jersey, interior parts of South Jersey in particular, Burlington County, Ocean County. You can see watching some of those storms progress from north to south, I should say, and that's kind of going around that area of high pressure, that ridge, that ring of fire. So some of those storms will be moving in our area. So that's kind of what we're going to be watching. But take a look at the 7-day forecast. We go from the triple digits Thursday, Friday, Saturday, still hot on Sunday, and then, yeah, temperatures much cooler, only around 80 degrees for early next week. But we're looking at some scattered showers and some storms in the forecast. So we talked a little bit earlier in the week about July and how it would be coming in hot as a firecracker. Well, there you go with those triple-digit temperatures. Now, I mean, you know, July is typically hot, but I mean, we're typically talking about temperatures, you know, running into the 90s. Those other heat waves that we had, that's kind of a walk in the park compared to what we're about to experience. And we've already had our fourth official heat wave, because we had 90 on Monday. It was 91 as we got toward Tuesday, and today's high of 97. So that seals the deal with our fourth heat wave. But this is going to be a long duration heat wave. We still have several more days to get through. We have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to get through, with temperatures still above 90 degrees. I mean, we're going to even top that with temperatures above 100 degrees. So that is that danger. I know you've been talking about our furry friends. You know, you want to check on pets, elderly. Just make sure everyone is getting what they need in terms of care with staying hydrated, and they have the adequate cooling that they need, because heat stroke, heat exhaustion, we talked a little bit about those earlier in the week. That is a real deal over the next several days. And you see that 10-day temperature trend showing you temperatures will be shockingly cooler by Monday and Tuesday, with highs only expected around 80 degrees. Then by next Friday, the 10th, we're back into the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. So this is what we're challenging. So the last time we had back-to-back 100-degree days, that was July of 2011. Now, the most consecutive 100-degree days, that was 3 back in 1993. So we could see that for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this year. And then that all-time record high temperature of 106 degrees from 1918, that is at play. So everything's on the table over the next several days as we watch how this heat dome impacts the Delaware Valley, as well as the 250th celebrations that are going to be taking place. I know some things have been adjusted in terms of the start and end time. The parade's been shortened, so we're just really going to monitor this impact across the Delaware Valley, as you know, heat is very dangerous, and it's also known as the silent killer. I mean, we talk about tornadoes, floods, hurricanes causing loss of life, and unfortunately, heat is one that can just sneak up on you. So we're going to be monitoring this and making sure everyone's staying safe, using common sense, and just listening to their bodies out there across the Delaware Valley. So I mean, you know, it's the city of brotherly love, sisterly affection. We got to take care of everybody, Judea, over the next several days.
Yes, we do. And I think people automatically think of their family members or people who are in their households. But I want to challenge you guys, if you have elderly neighbors, check in on them as well.
Sick and shut in. Yep, folks that are, you know, sick and shut in, you know, maybe mobility issues, just you know,
just check in on them. Yeah, you never know. Scott, thank you so much for weighing in, giving us another look at our forecast. I'm tired of breaking records and having historic temperatures. If we could just put that to the side. That's not a record I want to have for the 250th. That's all I'm saying.
If we're going to break it, we might as well, you know, break it, though. You know, if we're going to get that close, we might as well just seal the deal.
No, we can
might as well seal the deal.
Whatever you say. This is job security. I know what you're doing. Scott, thank you so much. All right, you guys, in addition to that, I want to keep the ball rolling of everything that we know about the heat, about how you can stay safe. Of course, one of our reporters, Greg Payne, got out on the streets, got to talk to the people. We wanted to know how you guys out here in Philadelphia are braving these near triple-digit temperatures, especially when tomorrow we are going to cross that threshold. So take a look at how people today were having a little fun.
It's a concrete oasis in the heart of Center City. The splash pads at Dilworth Park weren't just a playground, but a necessity. With the temperatures rising, families traded the air-conditioned indoors for a quick icy drenching.
It is hot. I want to cut the air off, and the water is beautiful. It's just a nice little breeze, and I can get wet with the children. I'm loving it. It's really nice.
You know who else is loving it? Alfreda Frazier's grandchildren.
Just playing with my cousins in the water.
Have you been having fun?
Yeah.
You guys enjoying yourself?
Yes, yeah.
What's your favorite part about the splash pad?
What do you like
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, I don't believe them. Roll the tape. They seem to be literally soaking it all in. Speaking of soaking, even the birds getting in on the splash pad action. You know who could have used some water? Joe Frazier and Rocky at the Art Museum steps. Somehow, they weren't breaking a sweat. The same goes for those running the steps, like birthday boy Andrew, visiting from Atlanta.
I'm a huge fan of the Rocky movies.
Which makes sense that despite the heat, his one birthday wish to take on the steps. Did it! And of course, while some folks are having some fun on this hot day, others have to work, like the robot. Hey buddy, you want something to drink? You want something to drink? Anything? Oh well, I tried. You know who wasn't denying water? Those at Wawa's Hoagie Day. Much effort went into keeping the hardworking employees cool and the customers enjoying their free hoagie. By the looks of it, everyone got one, even this man in a Cowboys shirt. Is there actually a hoagie in there, or they gave you an empty bag? All jokes aside, Philly doesn't play about their free hoagies. That's why the heat wasn't stopping the long lines.
Hoagies, hoagies, everybody gets a hoagie. I come through every year. Yeah.
Now, each year, has it always been this hot, or is this one of the hotter ones?
No. It ain't always been this hot. Nope. Nope. Coming from South Philly. Yeah, but it is. It's hot, and woo, they got a lot of hoagies.
Hoagies everywhere you look, but mostly in the shade. For Deborah, rain or shine, this day is in memory of her father.
My father brought me here in 1976.
And 50 years later, she's keeping the family tradition going. This has a deeper meaning, so it doesn't matter how hot it is.
No, baby, I don't feel the heat. Do you guys feel the heat? Nope. We're feeling the love. And especially, this is how they get to know my father, even though they never could meet him.
Greg does such an incredible job putting his stories together. He found all walks of life, people celebrating birthdays, people celebrating life, robots. Like, he literally found everybody and got to show us just how Philly is bracing themselves for this crazy heat that we've got coming our way. And I think the beauty of it all is it seems like everybody's still trucking. And is that not the spirit of the city of brotherly love? We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I got more news coming your way. Be right back. Welcome back to Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. I'm keeping my eyes on everything that's going on with the Phillies game, and you guys, it's pretty dang close. Let's take a live look at Citizens Bank Park. As you can see, based on the Jumbotron, everybody out there is going crazy. There's so many people packed into those stands. They don't even care that we're looking at like 97-degree temperatures throughout the day. Even though the sun's gone down, it's still hot and steamy out there. Now, I said the score was close. That's because the Phillies are leading. We have 8, but unfortunately, the Pirates also have 6, and we're only in the top of the 8th. So technically, they still have time. But if tonight is anything like yesterday night, I don't think the Phillies have anything to worry about. We'll be checking back on the score before the show is over and hoping to see that beautiful fireworks display that we got last night. I'm hoping to bring it to you live right here on Philadelphia Live, so don't go anywhere. Now, speaking of fireworks, the 4th of July is among us, you guys, and Fox 29 is doing something pretty dang special. We've got live news coverage. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to be talking about all of the things that have to do with America's 250th birthday in the place where it all started, right here on the free Fox Local app. Check out who's joining me that night.
Excitement filled.
It's the World Cup, baby!
Of course you're excited.
Can't wait to say happy birthday to America. Again, that's going down Saturday. I will be your host from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. But throughout the day, we're going to cover the FIFA World Cup because, of course, right here in the city of Philadelphia, we've got the match. Then we're going to talk to you about the fireworks, get to show you some displays happening all across the nation. And we may even be able to bring you out to some international shows, depending on what time you're joining us. We're going to have live interviews. We're going to try to bring you guys some things that you are not seeing anywhere else. And the only place you're going to get that is right here on the free Fox Local app, or if you're joining us on one of our social media channels. Again, it's all going down on Philadelphia Live with me, 6 to 9 p.m. But of course, you've got coverage all day long. No matter what time you tune in, you're going to get something good. Now let's talk to you about some of the other big things that are happening. There are a couple of different ways that you can celebrate in the city, but also there are a couple of different things that have been canceled or pushed back or delayed. So let's go through some of those things. We know excessive heat has already canceled the Norristown July 4th parade. So that should have already been crossed off your schedule, but just in case it's the first time you're hearing it, that is no longer taking place. So next one. The city of Millville in New Jersey, they say they are also no longer having their parade. This has been because of public safety concerns. So the heat is impacting some things, but then also the safety of residents is also another thing we're keeping into mind. Philly Salute to Independence semi-quincentennial parade route has been shortened. So we know now that the parade will start at 5th and Chestnut. It's going to pass by Independence Hall, head up Market Street and City Hall, and end at Broad and Chestnut if you're trying to get out there. But keep in mind the route was supposed to be much, much longer. So if you do plan on getting out there, I do believe everything kicks off still around noon. But it's going to be a much shorter path because keep in mind, we're talking about all those floats, people who dress up in costume. You don't want anybody passing out. You want to make sure that everybody's staying cool and getting the water that they need. So to do that, they have decided to shorten the parade. I'm also seeing that the hours at Philadelphia's FIFA Fan Fest at Lemon Hill have also been cut short. So on July 4th, that Saturday, the gates, they open up at 12 noon. They're going to stay open, though, until the end of the match. So the 1 p.m. match, it gets off at 1 p.m. As soon as that's done, keep in mind, soccer matches are usually about 90 minutes unless they go into overtime. So we're looking at probably around 2:30, maybe 3 o'clock or so, that's when things could be shut down at Lemon Hill. But day of, remember, we'll be with you live, so we'll give you those updates. We're also seeing... what were you gesturing to? Was something going on here? Okay. We were taking a look just to see if anybody had scored at the Phillies game, but so far the score is still 8-6. All right, another big update that I need to tell you all about in case you do want to get out there to the FIFA Fan Festival. A lot of people have been taking the Flash bus, which is actually super duper cute. And I've been meeting a lot of international people by riding it. It's $5 for the entire day, or you can pay for your entire family to get on it for the entire day. And it's also pretty cheap as well. But the Philadelphia Visitor Center announced that today that the Philly Flash will adopt a temporary route adjustment. They're also going to have some stop closures. So they're not going to make all of the different tourist stops that you are used to. If you want to know exactly which stops will not be made, you can check out our website. You can also check out the Philadelphia government's website. I believe it's phila.gov, and you'll get more information there. You can also follow them on social media for the latest information in real time. So between today all the way to the 6th, they say that those bus stops, that route is going to change just a little bit. All right, so looks like that is it that I have for you for the 4th of July. We're going to take a quick commercial break, regroup, come back. There are a couple of big things that I know were supposed to happen tonight, and I'm hoping that we can bring them to you live. One being when the Citizens Bank Park match between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Philadelphia Phillies, when that concludes, usually there's going to be a beautiful fireworks display. I'm hoping to bring that to you live. We may even be able to get to hear a little bit of the interim manager's post-game press conference where he talks about how he feels about the scores. Ooh, I hear screaming. Did something happen with the match? Okay. We've got some passionate sports fans in here, you guys. I don't even know that you can hear them because I've got the mic on, but our producers are going wild out in the newsroom. So I'm going to check in and see what happened, whether it was the Phillies, whether it was the U.S. men's soccer team. We'll get to it when we come back. Welcome back to Philadelphia Live, but you are taking a live look out in Atlanta. This is their FIFA Fan Festival. I think they're trying to threaten our record of having the most people turn up to a fan festival throughout the World Cup. I mean, it does look like they are packed in there like sardines. Everybody, no matter where you are across the country, is watching the U.S. team match right now against Bosnia. Right now, we are still up. We are 1. They don't have any score on the board. We're about 81 minutes into this match, so if it ends up being a regular game, we've only got about 9 minutes left. U.S. just scored again, okay? 2-0. The team is going wild, and you can see in Atlanta, the lights are going wild. I can only imagine what it sounds like out there. Oh, and actually, like, you can actually see the crowd kind of waving out there as well. I know it's a movie because I know how Atlanta gets down, you guys. Okay, so let's show them the score. We've got another thing up here where you can see we have put 2 on the board again. Bosnia has not. They haven't been able to come out with us. I'm so surprised that I didn't get to hear our producers out there going crazy for this one too. Now, our reporters are out on the field in New Jersey, in Philadelphia, just keeping their eye on how fans are celebrating these big scores and hopefully a big win. Again, if this ends up being a regular match, we only got about 8 minutes left. That's not a lot of time for Bosnia to come back. Oh, we see you guys commenting in the comment section. Tanya Ortiz just says USA. Yes, you guys drop U.S. flags in our live stream chat. Let's try to get that energy over to the guys. We need them to feel it. So again, a lot of big stuff going on. I'm so happy that we were able to stream this and that we're coming out live with it. There are other things that are happening tonight too. The Phillies are playing right now. They're playing the Pittsburgh Pirates, and we are also in the lead there. It's a great night for sports across Philadelphia. We're in the bottom of the 8th, so we only got 1 inning left. I'm not sure if that's enough time for the Pirates, but time will only tell. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get you your final score before this live stream is over, but if we can't, don't worry. The broadcast, it's a late broadcast of tonight. I believe it will get off at around 10:30 because of the soccer game. We'll try to give you that live update there. We're also keeping an eye on the Ben Franklin Bridge because we heard that tonight it's supposed to be lighting up in blue and green, and this is as they celebrate their 100th anniversary. So right now it's dark, but again, on every 30-minute mark, we're supposed to see blue and green lights. It's supposed to be like styling, profiling out there, you guys. This is what they told me. So again, this is to celebrate 100 years of connection across the Delaware River. The Delaware River Port Authority is lighting up the Ben Franklin Bridge with some special kinetic lighting shows. It's supposed to take place tonight and Saturday, July 11th. So if you miss it tonight, you will be able to see it then as well. So again, a lot of big stuff that's happening all across town. Ooh, the Phillies just scored as well. The score is now 10-6. When did we get 2 runs? Wait, the last time I just told you like 2 seconds ago that it was 8-6. Somehow, somewhere, we got 2 extra runs. Beautiful, beautiful. I feel like I'm everyone's good luck charm. Or maybe it's not me. Maybe it's you guys who are streaming with us. I can't take credit for it all. All right, you guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break while we're cooking. I want to get you some more trending news. What are you guys talking about? And hopefully soon be able to bring you that fireworks show. We'll be right back. Welcome back into Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. Jake Leonard's up on the desk with us. Hey, we got a lot going on in our live stream chat. You guys are funny.
Popping. Yes,
and I love to
so
see
active.
it. Okay, Kyle Jackson, first of all, you're hilarious. I said that obviously the streets are saying I'm hot tonight because
I think it's true.
the Phillies 2 runs in like 2 seconds after I just said the score was 8-6. Now we're 10-6. And then Team USA is now 2-0 with Bosnia.
Yes.
And we don't have that much left in the match. We're keeping our eyes on that as well. Hopefully we have something finishing before the show is over. But Carla was like, well, if you're hot tonight, go get me a lottery ticket. Would you believe I've never played the lottery before?
Really? Listen, I would like growing up, my mom would always like do this thing where she would like get little scratch offs and she'd be like, oh, you can scratch them. I would always have the worst luck. Always, or maybe I'd be like, oh, I have $2. But sometimes my mom would do it and she'd be like, oh my God, I won $250. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, you couldn't like give me the kid the winning one.
Nope. You gotta try harder than that. Oh, someone says you should. Oh, it's Carl again. You should buy one. You might win. So, do you believe in beginner's luck?
Yeah. I mean, the way your vibes tonight, I think you should leave tonight and buy one immediately.
All right, you guys. Well, I'll try to figure. I don't even know where you buy a lottery ticket at. We'll figure it out. But talking about some of the trending stories, we want to know what people are talking about. Of course, the games. Of course, the heat. But what else are people looking at?
I have to talk about the wedding.
Which wedding?
The Taylor Swift wedding, because big update.
It's everywhere.
Yes, big update. It was confirmed 100%. It's happening, Madison Square Garden. I think that it's Friday, but there's some sort of event happening tomorrow. Associated Press, like that's how you know it's legit.
Yeah.
Released a statement and they were like, yeah, it's happening. We have official confirmation. So like up until now, it's been like Page 6, TMZ, but now like it's confirmed 100% basically.
That is insane. We've been talking about how they're going to be able to, one, keep it secret.
Yes.
Because I think you told me no phones.
Yes, no phones. And you know, you actually called this a couple of nights ago when we were talking about this. Yes, you do. They're setting up like tents so people can come in and out without being detected.
Because everybody's going to want to know, like, what is your dress looking like?
What's everyone wearing?
Who's invited, who's not invited.
Exactly.
But they're going to have, like, that little,
Yes. So, high security, you know, they're putting up the tents, no phones. I'm trying to think, like, the other things that have come out. Oh, they think that she might be building, like, a castle based on, like, things that they've seen being brought into the garden. I don't know.
Inside?
Yes, I don't know.
Madison Square Garden is huge.
The theme is apparently like garden party. Like there was on the side of like a truck or something, it said like garden party, like scene, whatever. And then like a bunch of things are like labeled GP. So I don't know. I have a feeling, you know, even though it's strict, something is gonna leak. Like a picture, like a guest list. I mean, I'm sure she's knowing her, she'll post like pictures. But I think something's gonna leak. I don't know. I'm actually kind of like, I knew that it was gonna be confirmed. Like it seemed like it was really happening, but just knowing like it's really happening at Madison Square Garden is kind of like, it's wow. After all this,
it's going to be simply incredible. It's a high-profile wedding on both sides. It's not like she's the only star. Travis Kelce's entire family is very successful.
Kylie and Jason are going to be there. I wonder if the kids are going to be there or if she has like a age thing.
Oh, so, you know, some people are like, don't bring your kids. You better get a babysitter.
Yeah, maybe we'll hear a little bit about it on New Heights. She announced the album. Maybe they'll do like a photo dump or something on the podcast.
You know, the haters say that some of her best music is, of course, breakup music. But do you think she can write really good love songs as well?
Yeah. I think she's going into a new phase of her life, and so she'll have like new material, you know, like she'll find like inspiration from somewhere. So I'm excited. I do personally. I think she's gonna get married, drop like one more album, and then kind of disappear.
Pull a Rihanna?
Yeah, disappear for a little bit. I mean, she is one of the hardest working people in the business. So if she wants to like chill out for a little bit, like I'm good. I think I think she'll always like be releasing something, but I think she deserves some time to enjoy a more relaxed life. So.
Yeah. Okay, so in addition to that, we also have our question of the night.
Yes.
It's roundabouts that time for us,
Yes.
by the way. But we wanted to know how you guys plan on celebrating your 4th of July
Yes.
holiday, because it is going to be like
Yes.
insanely
Yes.
hot. So
Yes.
where are we at?
As you can see, 30% watch fireworks. I'm glad that that's in the lead because, you know, we're going to be watching fireworks here. You know, you can tune in to Fox Local and watch it with us. But, you know, and then there's a 3-way tie. Head down to the shore, barbecue, and then stay inside with the heat. I am a little surprised that stay inside isn't a little bit higher up because it is going to be so hot. But
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
watch those fireworks.